Yeah, not really. All right. Welcome to another episode of Angel in the Afternoon. We're on episode 134, apparently. So I'm just on my count. So I'm Angel Rivera. We got a bunch of excellent panelists this week. Witchy Perfect, Alex Knight, and our buddy Bill. How are we doing tonight?
Bill.
Today?
Hey,
Bill. No, don't kill him. Kill Bill, though.
So how we doing?
The movie is solid. I didn't see it. Sorry.
Let's see. So we got plenty to talk about this week.
I have been validated, and I am very happy about that.
I was saying if I die in mysterious circumstances, I want everyone to know.
Yes. By the way, I just want to let everyone know I am not self-deletion. I do not have any plans to self-delete. So if I end up deleting or deleted, I did not self-delete. Someone deleted me.
Yes, and I did not have sex with Hillary Clinton.
No, you had sex with Trump.
But
he's got them DSLs.
But Vince Foster did.
Excuse me. Whew. Yeah, whoever that is.
If I get Vince Fostered, I did not have sex with any Clintons.
No, you just gave him a blowjob, huh?
It doesn't count. BJs don't count. We've established that with Monica.
Yeah, that's right. BJs don't count unless it was with Monica,
and
right?
Despite that I have a 14-year-old or 13 or 14-year-old daughter, I believe Jeffrey Epstein was innocent. You know,
again, I feel very validated because, again, I said this to everybody on this show, on X, on anyone who would fucking listen to me, that literally the pedophiles will literally normalize pedophilia. I said that. I meant it, and now I am validated, and I win. I was the winner. I said it. It is happening. They are trying to normalize pedophilia. Why? Because they want to come after your kids. And as the only one who has a child here, by the way, this sausage fest that we have today, I'm the only one who can really say this because I do have a child. And it doesn't matter the sex of the child. 15 years old or not, you are still a teenager. You are still under 18. You cannot drive. You cannot smoke. You cannot even get into a bar. So don't tell me now. I mean, they went from what is a woman to what is a child now. Really? Well, I think we know who the children are.
You probably saw me mention, but like some of the accusations were that he was trafficking children as young as 8. And it's weird that was the example she used as well. They're not 8-year-olds. They're 15.
They were 15-year-olds.
Well, the accusations were some of them were 8. So it's complete bullshit anyways. So
right.
One of Michael Tracy's tweets responding to a retweet or something, he used the word women instead of girls, which...
they're not women. They are girls. They are teenage girls. When I was 15, I was a girl. I was not an adult. I could not, like I said, I couldn't even join the army. I couldn't, not that I would want to, but again, you can't smoke, you can't drink, you can't get into a bar at 15. You can't even drive at 15. So don't tell me that 15-year-olds are adults. Then give them the rights of an adult if you're going to say that. But no, this is to normalize pedophilia so that they come after your kids when you guys have them. But they ain't coming after mine because I'm telling you now, and I told you this before many, many times, You come after my kid, and I'm going to make Satan look like an angel, and I don't even believe in Satan.
Well, you always have Chris Hansen to save you.
I saw
Alright.
someone pushed back against Tracy saying like, okay, so if it was women, then why is that blackmail? If he's in a room full of women in bikinis, how would that be blackmail? That doesn't make sense.
And that's how they justify that. That's how they normalize it, so that you normalize it, so that the fucking MAGA sheep and the liberal sheep and all these people who are sheeple, who literally think that the Democrats are fighting for them, or the Republicans are fighting for them, or Donald Trump gives a fuck if you can eat or not. Literally, this is so they can normalize it to those sheeple that, well, yeah, we should sacrifice. Did you see the video of those 3 kids? Who put 3 kids in a room with Donald Trump? You're a fucking idiot. Those were the sacrifices.
Stop handing your kids over to politicians. Stop handing your kids over to
I would
politicians.
not let my son anywhere near a politician. Period. I would not let my son anywhere near a politician or any of their spiritual advisors. Did you see that video too on X? His spiritual advisor was messing with a minor.
Oh yeah.
Richard Morris, I think is his name.
Oh.
Is that the name? I don't. I saw the video in passing, but it's the wife going, "We're not done with this. This is not over." I'm thinking it's over, you idiot. It's over. He got caught.
Yeah. All right.
Let's give Angel a show back.
I'm sorry, Angel.
You know, I was just gonna say that I was gonna bring this up later, but we brought it up now, the panel, so we'll get to it now, I guess, because you guys just took over my show, which is fine. I mean, it's a. But
we love you,
Angel. I just wanted to say I sent you an article you can bring up later. I sent you a message about that.
Well, like I said, I'm the only one with a child here, so you know.
So yeah, we just talked about the Epstein stuff. So I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say is I mean, we didn't learn anything new. We already knew all this stuff. We knew that Epstein was Israeli intelligence. That's pretty much been confirmed. We know that Donald Trump and Epstein were best friends, and he's most likely a pedophile. So that's also confirmed. We already knew that. We also knew that. What else? I mean, we knew that apparently Bill Clinton was also around there. All the rich people, all the powerful people around Epstein. We knew that. The one thing I didn't
feel validated.
There's something I didn't guess though.
I win.
Oh, so
there's
Trump's
one thing that I didn't guess.
What? What's that, Bill?
That Trump blew Bill.
It was a good blow, apparently.
That's an allegation that came out in emails too. So
allegedly,
I told you they're gay and they're pedophiles. I mean, they're bis, actually.
Trump's interview with Laura Ingraham was a disaster.
Megyn Kelly is a disaster. Literally, she's trying to normalize pedophilia. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
I know, but just like the interview Trump had with Laura Ingraham, it was supposed to go well for him, but it didn't. You know, she actually got blowback.
This is what you voted for, MAGA. Now you have to eat it.
Laura Ingraham.
Eat it.
Megyn R. Kelly. Put some respect on her name.
The only thing that was new. So far, at least to me, that was new is Jeffrey Epstein alleged in an email that Hillary Clinton had an affair with Vince Foster, which is why he ended up dead. So that was implied by Epstein. So
that too.
That's how he ended up deleted. Yeah. I don't doubt that for a second. Again, the rich are banging everybody. They're banging everybody and their brother. They're pedophiles. The rich elite are really scummy people. They really are into some heavy duty evil shit.
It's the aristocrats joke.
Right.
Shit, not good.
Sorry about that.
They're fucking the dogs. They're fucking the cats.
The dogs. They're fucking the cats. They're fucking each other. They're fucking the kids. Again.
Earl's here. Max is here. Hey, Sean is here. Hello.
Hello,
how you guys doing?
Hey, everybody.
Sean says they're now trying they're prepubescent. They were batshit crazy.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. And I feel validated because I'm the one who said every politician in Washington, everyone in Hollywood are pedophiles and they're going to normalize pedophilia. So I am validated and I win. Well, my reward is that I will be protecting my child from any of those motherfuckers who try to touch him.
Yep, we got a lot to get to this week.
He will be 10 soon. Well, not soon, but next October.
Yeah, we got plenty to get to. So I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat. If you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe. Try to share the content because not only I'm shadow banned, but INN is shadow banned as well. So
Give us
because
that like and make sure you share.
our subscriber count isn't going up, even though we're putting out a lot of good content lately. So obviously nobody's seeing us except for our audience, which is great. I mean, I appreciate you guys being here, but I would like to have new people in the chat.
We need a bigger audience.
Smash that like button. Like
Yeah, please.
Trump smashed
Smash
Bill
that.
Clinton's.
Ooh, boy. Ah! Did you see that? There's a picture of Trump in a Monica Lewinsky wig and like was dressed like Monica. Did you see that?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
like
that was-
there's like coming down his nose, like
AI,
I'm gonna
but-
pretend I didn't see that.
I assumed that was AI, but yeah, I did see that. We're also going to talk about the president's new proposal for the housing crisis. So he's proposing a 50-year
I
mortgage
cannot have enough to say
instead of a
about that.
30-year
That was
mortgage.
part of
So
the,
we're
Laura
going to get to
Ingraham
that in a few
interview.
minutes. Yeah.
Yep. And this is what's going to happen. Even if you so the average, they said the average age someone buys a house is 40. So by the time, even if you started at age 20, literally you're going to be paying till you're 70 years old or 90 years old. It doesn't matter.
It's going to
You're
take
still
2
going to be paying
generations.
out the nose because that doesn't even, that's only just the mortgage. That doesn't entitle the property taxes are going to go up every year. The fucking insurance is going to go up every year. They don't even take into account, but they want you to own nothing.
I
You
just saw
own
it's
nothing.
more than 40 now is what I just saw. Like
No,
I
no,
thought
no.
I just saw like 49 or something.
Nothing, be happy and eat sea
Eat sea bugs. Where's my soundboard?
I will eat the cock.
You own nothing, be happy, and eat sea bugs.
There you go.
That was good, Bill. Do that again.
Oh no, someone might clip that. Damn it. No.
Yes, clip it.
Oh,
Clip
no,
it.
no.
Clip it.
All right.
Snow's out here.
Oh, damn.
So
Go on, though.
So we'll get to the mortgage thing in a moment. We're also going to get to Gaza. The United States military is planning to build a $500 million base on the Gaza border. So,
Again, they don't care about you. They care more about fucking with brown people than they do about you. They don't care if your SNAP benefits get put to, they don't care if you have food. They don't care if you go hungry. They only care about fucking with brown people.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that they're distracting with the Venezuela shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we get to that too. So this applies.
Oh shit.
Shit. Here we go again. That's right. I was talking about the 50-year mortgages with my coworker who is somewhat of a Democrat. Like he thinks the Democrats are going to help, but they haven't. So anyway, like I literally cannot wait to talk about that because literally him and I were talking about that. And I said, you honestly think you're going to be able to afford a house, even if you start at age 20. If you bought a house at age 20 and got a 50-year mortgage, guess what? You'll be 70 before that shit is paid off. And again, they don't want you to pay it off. They want you to be in debt for the rest of your motherfucking life. You will own nothing, be happy, and eat sea bugs.
How about if we do 1,000-year mortgages with no payments due for the first 500 years?
Jesus Christ. I mean, you would be in debt.
Don't give
forever.
up any
Your
ideas.
kids would be in debt. Your grandkids would be in debt. Your great grandkids and your, on down the line would be in debt for fucking ever.
We need land reforms. We need land reforms. Land should be free. This is bullshit. We're animals. We live on this planet. We shouldn't be having to pay rent to live on the planet. We shouldn't have to pay rent to survive.
To the articles now.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Angel.
Hey, they've taken over my show, but hey, we'll just start off with this. And
this is Angel in the afternoon. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah. So, as everybody knows, Democrats are melting down over Chuck Schumer's capitulation to the Republicans and reopening the government. How dare you reopen the government and give the American people their food stamps? That's basically what liberals are arguing. Because that's literally what they're arguing. Because, like I told somebody is like, basically the Republicans are never going to agree to the Obamacare subsidies. They already told you it's a non-starter. They already told you everything you needed to know. This is the deal we're going to give you. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. We want our subsidies. We want free money going to health insurance companies. That's their argument, essentially.
By the way, Angel, the logo is blocking your face.
It is.
Aww. That's okay.
Anyways,
No. Put
let
us
me
down the
finish my
bottom.
point. I'll figure. So then eventually they end up 40 days later. They end up agreeing to that same deal. After 40 days, like what was this? I mean, you just hurted the American people, and now you've taken responsibility for the shutdown. Agreed to this same deal Republicans offered.
You might
40
as well
days
have
ago.
just. I think they wanted to fuck with poor people. I mean, this is rich liberals going, oh, how dare you?
Mhm.
How dare you give the poor people food? Just give them cake. I mean, that's how it is, you know?
Bill, since you're wearing glasses, show us how Chuck Schumer wears his glasses.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Well, anyways, progressives are now want Chuck Schumer as Senate Minority Leader because it's rumored that he's going to retire after his
And
term.
then they
in
want
2028.
AOC to take over.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Army goddess.
they want AOC to run for that seat, but now who do they want as Minority Leader? Senator Chris Van Hollen, who's just a younger version of Chuck Schumer. So
Ugh.
that's who progressives are fighting for, to become the Minority Leader.
Also, what's funny is that Bernie Sanders has not said one thing about Chuck Schumer.
That's because Bernie's a pedophile.
The only thing he said was, "Who's going to be the leader then? Who's going to be the leader then?
A good friend.
If it's not Chuck
My
Schumer."
good friend Chuck Schumer.
You're right, Jack.
So,
you are absolutely right.
anyways, these are some of the talking points that progressives are putting out. These progressive groups. So these are really small, and I can't make it bigger, but I'm gonna try to read it as best as I can.
The word progressive has no meaning anymore. I know.
Yeah, it really means just rich liberal who doesn't give a fuck about poor people.
I'm gonna not read all this, but at a time when Democrats are debating the future direction of the party, Senator Chris Van Hollen represents the rare figure who can combine experience, ability, and a forward-leading vision. These are some of the talking points that progressives have to use on news. Van Hollen combines policy leadership, message leadership, campaign strategy, and fundraising, and procedural mastery that very few Democrats do. He has worked in the state government, House leaderships, and senior Senate committee leadership, and he has shown the ability to win tough races, bridge internal factions, and command policy detail, and communicate convictions with unusual discipline. So
go suck a dick.
So he's good at fundraising.
Good at raising money from corporations
really
and billionaires. That's what he's good at. And these are progressives, by the way, that are arguing this. His blend of Pelosi-style strategic and tactical precision and Trump-era moral leadership positions him as a leader who can unify the caucus while strengthening its national message. So yeah, this goes on and on. You know, they're basically sucking his dick and sucking up to him.
I'm rubbing off on Angel. My plan is complete. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, they haven't learned their lesson at all. You know, they're going to go right into another Democrat who they're going to hate in 2 years because Chris Van Hollen's going to give in to Republicans in the next shutdown fight. That's if he becomes a leader, which he isn't.
Comparing to Pelosi is great. You love to see a Pelosi comparison. That's very reassuring.
I think Pelosi has a dick she's just not telling us about.
Oh yeah, her daughter's running for a position or.
Oh yeah.
I think it's state senate in California. She's running for, so I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up running for her mom's old.
Oh yeah, and Eric Swalwell is running for what is it? What position for California? I read something.
I think it's governor. He's running for governor.
It doesn't matter. They all suck dick. So
I'm glad Chelsea has a personality of like a wet dish rag.
Tulsi, don't bring up Tulsi around here.
No, you can. I don't mind.
Okay,
I bring her up.
Yeah, fuck Tulsi and fuck Israel too.
I was saying Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chelsea.
I thought you said Tulsi.
No, Chelsea. They want to run Chelsea, but she's got a horrible personality. So hopefully, we're gonna not have.
You're right.
She's like her mom. Her personality is terrible. Anyways, Abby Martin has this documentary about the U.S. military and how horrible they are. Charlotte's Central Piedmont film screening on the U.S. military for being too controversial. Another school kowtows to fascism. So
still not a fan of Abby Martin or her husband.
They showed she does good work at times. She does good work at times. Like this U.S. military film, I'm sure it's good, but there's times where she comes across as cringe. But But let's see. This is the movie.
Yeah, no, she got
Earth's
some
Greatest-
COVID stuff wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. The COVID
Yeah,
stuff,
she
which
did.
is an issue. That's just the movie. Earth's Greatest Enemy.
Jabby Martin.
Earth's Greatest Enemy is a second documentary from journalist Abby Martin that uncovers a shocking blind spot in the climate conversation. The U.S. military, exempt international climate agreements,
That's
and rarely
just one.
scrutinized in main reporting. The Pentagon is revealed here as the world's single largest institutional polluter, spewing carbon, contaminating water, and scarring landscapes across the globe, and combining investigative journalism, striking visuals, and stories from impacted communities. The film challenges audience to rethink the hidden costs of a global military empire and its planetary consequences. Provocative, urgent, and eye-opening, this documentary will change how you see both the military and environmentalism. So, if she doesn't cover what the U.S. military did to Puerto Rico, I can't take the movie seriously because that's that's the most obvious place you got to look at.
Mm-hmm.
They're green bombs.
Well, and that's what I was saying. Like when I sent you that thing on X, Angel, was that no one gave a fuck when when they were fighting in all these wars that they spoke Spanish. I mean, it's Puerto Rico. Hello, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans there. They speak Spanish. I don't know what the
husband
fucking deal is.
Her husband is ex-military. He was in the Iraq War. He did a couple tours
Well, then
in
he
Iraq.
should be ashamed of himself.
So he did it. I think his name is Mike Peisner or something like that. Her husband.
We call him Mike Peisner.
Yeah, because he was pro-vaccine. This is what you show. I think this was you who tagged me in this.
Yes.
When Puerto Ricans went to war, every war, and died for your freedom, no one complained about them speaking Spanish. So this is you tagged me here. Yes. My Mexican American dad served in Vietnam, and he said there were some Hispanic soldiers who spoke very little English, but they still faithfully served during times of war. It's funny how skin color or Spanish doesn't matter. My dad nearly served in Vietnam. I told that story before, but
my dad, he served. I know he's not Puerto Rican or anything, but my dad also served after the Vietnam War.
I mentioned before that my dad was in the Vietnam War, but he wasn't a soldier. He was like just an engineer, just working off vehicles or something. So.
But he still served.
I couldn't go to Vietnam because of my bone spurs.
He didn't fight in battle.
And I was too busy sucking dick.
I went from chicken hawk to chicken head.
Eat a dick, Trump.
I already did.
I know, Bill Clinton's.
Her brother is questionable. Has a few links to the CIA.
Abby
Martin's brother.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know about that. So
yeah.
I don't like. Okay, I'll take your word for it, but I didn't know about Abby Martin's brother having CIA ties. Excuse me. This is from Common Sense Investor. He followed me.
You okay, Angel?
Losing my voice. He followed me immediately as soon as I that he tweeted this out. But I saw this immediately. I had to talk about it. Trump just posted the 50-year mortgage. 50-year mortgage equals lifetime debt. Bank gets rich, you'll never get free. This is the history of mortgages. Back in the early 1900s, mortgages were short, usually 3 to 5 years, and mostly interest only. Then you had to pay a big lump sum back to the bank because people couldn't borrow big amounts. High house prices stay low. In the 30s, I think this was under FDR. Pretty sure it was. We got the 30-year fully amortized mortgage, which is what's standard today, the 30-year mortgage. Right. We didn't make houses more affordable, moved the price ceiling. Banks love this because longer duration means more years of interest extraction. Since most families move every 5 years to upgrade, they never get out of their front-loaded interest zone. Here's what happens on $500,000 mortgage, 5% in the first 5 years. Mortgage principal, you build, interest you pay. So in 10 years, you build $219,000 in equity and you pay $99,000 in interest. $83,000 in equity, $115,000 in interest. 30 years, $41,000 in equity, $120,000 in interest. Excuse me, not $120. A 50-year mortgage. So you build only $12,000 in equity, $123,000 in interest. So it's flipped exactly it's flipped. You have no equity towards your house. Your house is worth nothing, and you pay all the money to the bank in interest.
Right. So yeah, a $50,000 house, a $500,000 house is literally going to cost you over $1 million by the time it's all said and done. And that doesn't even, like I said, it doesn't even cover the property taxes that go up every year, the insurance that goes up every year, the fucking maintenance of the house that literally you have to pay for the maintenance of that house. Again, even this seems like a good solution on the front, but on paper, it's not. It's literally you are paying, you will be in debt. You will own nothing, be happy, and eat bugs. And let's say you die before this is over with. Now you leave that debt to your kids. Now your kids will have to pay for that debt plus their own debt that they accumulate.
It's 2 generations that have to pay off that insurance the mortgage, because there's no way that you can pay it off in one lifetime. The longer the term, the less equity you build, the more interest you bleed.
Right.
So when families upgrade a few years, they restart the amortization clock over and over. This isn't affordability, it's a hamster wheel. 50-year mortgages don't make homes cheaper. They guarantee you never escape the first 5 years. Bank lose. Right. America doesn't need longer mortgages. America needs lower house prices. 50-year mortgages are not relief. It's debt perpetuity dressed up as affordability.
So basically, this is how you will own nothing, be happy, and eat bugs. You will not be able to afford a house. You will have to rent the rest of your life. Again, they don't want you to have a house. They don't want you to. They're even thinking about. I heard someone say, I don't know who it was, but they said they're also trying to get 15-year car loans. And the car doesn't last 15 fucking years, people. No. It barely lasts. Mine is 10 years old, or will be 10 years old. Almost 11 years old.
I assert that people don't even own their homes when they think they own them, because, like, what happens when you don't pay your exorbitant property taxes every year or whatever?
Right, because you can't, because they keep going up every year.
We covered this a couple months ago.
Everyone's renters.
Right. A man in New York had a $800,000 home in New York, and he didn't pay. He didn't know he owed this, but he has a $5,000 water bill. He didn't know he owed it. So the New York City water works sold it to a private investor, and they didn't tell him that he owed the money, so he didn't know. And that private investing company took his home over a $5,000 debt. They
want you to own nothing. You will own nothing and be happy and eat bugs. I heard JD Vance, my dad had Fox News on, talking about JD Vance running his mouth about, immigrants are taking houses and shit. I went, go suck a dick, you motherfucker. That is so wrong. You know who's really taking the houses? Fucking rich people. BlackRock. Mm-hmm. BlackRock is buying up houses at more than their price. They're more than their asking price. 20% more, in fact.
I live in Los Angeles. There's derelict buildings everywhere. There's empty buildings everywhere, even in Los Angeles, even in big cities. They sit empty forever.
Because the rich will buy them.
Yeah, in LA, that unfinished building in GTA 5, that is real in real life. So
yeah, it is. Yeah. But it's more profitable for buildings to basically sit empty than it is to rent them out to people. They don't make enough profit on it in their minds. Anyways, this is Donald Trump's tweets or posts on Truth Social. He puts great American presidents. FDR created the 30-year mortgage, but Trump created a 50-year mortgage. He's bragging about this. It's not like he's
20 years for this better
policy. Yep. Anyway,
bigger number equals better.
And remember, I blew Bill Clinton.
He's posting this to his billionaire friends or whatever.
Yes, he's doing this all for the rich, but then his sheeple who actually think that he's trying to help them. Literally, they're all like coming in their pants because literally, I can afford a house now. I can afford a house now. No, you can't, dumb motherfucker, and he don't want you to.
People are definitely going to assume bigger number equals better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because progressives they loved FDR. They can't get enough of him. But he's one of the. He's not a. I mean, he kept getting reelected, but he's not necessarily a good president. Most of his New Deal failed, anyways, except for Social Security.
Don't tell Kyle Kowalski that.
Except for Social Security, right? And they have been trying to get Social Security. I told my dad this: if they take Social Security, you're fucked. Because that means when you guys and me, when we go to retire, there'll be nothing there. That's what they want. They want to give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. They don't give a fuck if your grandma has to work to the rest of her fucking life. They don't care.
Well, yeah, the plan is to get rid of retirement altogether.
Yeah.
The president.
So that you have to work for the rest of your motherfucking life while a rich person's sitting on their motherfucking ass eating bonbons while they tell you what's wrong with America.
Yep. These same white progressives who love FDR, I mean, they don't tell you that he was a multimillionaire. He's a part of the Millionaires Club.
He was probably a pedophile too.
As president, his policies mostly failed. What got us out of depression was World War II. Right. Wasn't for World War II. I don't know how we're going to get out of depression because most of his policies failed.
He would have kept us in.
Except for Social Security. So yeah, progressives are sucking off FDR how great he was, but he really wasn't. I mean, he was at best okay. I mean, but he wasn't. But he got us into World War II. We talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Because he was pissing off the Japanese. That's what happened. I seen stuff about that.
Yeah, I think FDR wanted Pearl Harbor attacked and allowed it to happen in order to get into World War II because he wanted to get into World War II.
Right, just like Bush Jr. wanted 9/11 to happen so he could help his Israel people so that we could lose more of our rights and suck off Israel.
Now watch
the Saudi government.
People forget that anything that these presidents did that was decent, what they were doing in response to pressures external to them, external to the to voting. It was a strong left that forced them to do these things. We don't have that now, so therefore that's not going to happen.
Well, look what they did the unions. Everybody was in a union back in the 30s and 40s. Now they're like, oh, they're so bad. Socialism's so bad. Literally, that's what they were talking about on Fox News, how socialism has taken over.
Yeah,
I went, go suck a dick.
They go after Mandani
More capitalism taking over.
being a jihadist or whatever. They say, they welcome, who's that guy that was in the White House? I don't remember his name. Yeah, they welcome him and they don't say anything.
Giuliani,
yeah.
The former Al Qaeda, yeah, he was
former Al Qaeda.
Now they put a suit. They put a suit on him, and they pretend that he's a legitimate president of Syria.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh well, he's a great guy.
That clip on Fox News? They called Chuck Schumer a Palestinian.
Oh yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That was that press secretary, Carolyn Levitt or whatever.
Yeah.
They will seriously do anything to their sheeple to make them believe.
What proof? Why do they say he's a Palestinian?
Because that's how they get you. That's how they think they're getting you.
Fox News is trying to pretend that Chuck Schumer supports Palestine. That's why the Palestinians.
Yeah.
If only he doesn't.
I wish. Yeah, we all wish he did because they would stop fucking with brown people if that were the problem.
Yeah. Sean
he wasn't wearing the cross necklace, I believe, either. So
yeah.
$14K a year is like rent.
Yeah, my property is $14K this year. It was $12K last year. And year before it was $10K. So those property taxes keep going up every year by a couple $1,000.
I make $14K a year. And that's because right now I need to get another job. Let's be real here. I need to get another job and I am looking. But I mean, that's how much I make. Right? And that I can't imagine paying $14K a year. And that's like, again, that's how much I make in a year.
We shouldn't have property taxes. That should be outlawed because we buy a home and it's our home, but it's never really our home because you don't pay your property taxes. The government can take your home. It's not really your home, even if you pay off the mortgage entirely.
So again, you will own nothing. They take your property right. They take your rights away by making you pay property tax, making you pay this, pay that. You have to get insurance on the fucking home. That's a big fucking scam. Literally, if your home gets demolished because of flood or a tornado or some act of what they call God. Act of God, an act of nature. Basically, you should just rebuild that home, dumb motherfuckers. It has nothing to do with insurance. And most of the people who live in flood zones can't even get flood insurance. People who live in tornado areas can't even get a tornado on their insurance, after the recovery and stuff. Well, so I'm telling you, they do this for a reason because they want you to own nothing. You will own nothing.
They tie it into education so they can say, well, if you don't pay property taxes, kids won't get educated.
You pay school tax. And our school taxes, I told Angel this last year, was $600. And they're still asking parents to provide notebooks, pencils, pens, and school supplies. Mm-hmm. So where is our fucking school taxes going?
There was a report, and I don't have it saved, but I saw a report from the Chicago school district, Cook County School District, where teachers spent $7.7 million on fancy vacations, and this is school money. They spent school money, but it's not their own money. They spent taxpayer money on fancy vacations to Egypt and Europe, and these teacher junkets that they go to other to expensive hotels and stuff like that too. That's what they're doing with the money. The teachers are controlling this money, and the union is not allowing the schools to actually look at how they're spending the money. So the teachers union is kind of an issue here because they're refusing to allow their books to be opened. So especially in Chicago. So it's like,
well, there's corruption all over the place, and they're trying to blame the teachers who are just trying to get by. I mean, teachers barely make a great salary right now.
No, yeah, I know, but
so there's definitely corruption in all the. I mean, yeah, there's corruption in unions because they want to come back and say, "Oh, well, look at this union; it's so corrupt. They don't even care about their own teachers." It's not it's the leadership that owns that union.
School administrators,
right?
Doing
it's
a lot of
more.
scams and
I
stuff.
bet that money is going for the salary of the fucking
right.
who makes a 6-figure salary. Those teachers don't.
What Max is right about this. A lot of retirement funds depend on stock market going up. Otherwise, you can lose your whole retirement, which is happening to people. They've lost in the 2008 Wall Street crash. A lot of people lost their 401ks in that.
401ks, right? Yeah, my dad was good enough to survive all that, and he had a good 401k. But I'm telling you, I had to use mine because I have no retirement right now except for Social Security if it survives. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't want us to be able to retire. They want us to work until we fucking die because they don't want you to own anything. They want you to own nothing, be happy, and eat bugs, and don't even think about retirement. You need to work, you fucking poor person.
Hey, David, what's going on, man?
Hey.
Let's see. So let's
I'm
get
on
to.
You saw my
this
Angel, right?
I hate this new chat feature because it doesn't tell me when I get messages or not. Yeah, it's terrible.
Thanks.
Zionist Bitcoin.
This chat feature is awful. Yeah, I see it here, but let me get to
Graham Elwood.
What? I don't even know about this.
Fuck that dude.
Graham Elwood's going to lose his money with gambling on Zionist Bitcoin.
What is that?
I saw the thing for Golden is in here. Golden, did you see the thing for crypto for Trump? It's a Trump CPO or something like that.
Yeah,
did you guys see that?
That crypto. Yeah, I saw it.
That's a CBDC if I've ever seen one.
David says I'm a union guy, but I do agree that some union top brass tend to dip on the pot for members' dues. Yeah.
And they do that so that they can say, well, look how horrible this union is. We should tell everybody no, we should have unions because workers deserve rights. But that's the thing.
But the union leadership, especially, has been a lot of unions are accused of collaborating with the bosses.
Right.
So a lot of unions.
And that's where the corruption and they're in bed together and stuff. Yep.
That's the wrong one.
All the anti-union TV people are union, by the way.
Yeah.
I accidentally showed my messages there, so I didn't even do that. So.
I didn't see anything. Did anyone else see anything?
When you get a chance, show the one I sent to you.
Yeah, I can do that. This is the story about the United States building a large military base on the Gaza border. So U.S. plans to build a $500 million base near the Gaza border, Israeli sources say. According to the Israeli officials, the planned U.S. base would house several thousand troops and tasked with maintaining the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The move signals Washington's determination to deepen its involvement in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Oh, God.
This investigation is co-published with Judith Arnorath. So there you go. There's the president trying to dance.
One thing before you go on. Golden. My dad watches Fox News, so that's where I heard it. And I'm telling you, it's really scary shit what they're doing with that CPO. They put Trump's name on it, so it has to be dirty and filthy.
Dirty Donald.
Well, the president is corrupt. So
Hedo Don. That's what I call him. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The United States is planning to build a large military base on Gaza's border region. Israeli officials familiar with the preliminary plans of the facility were used by the U.S. and international forces operating in Gaza to help maintain the ceasefire and could accommodate several thousand soldiers. It is estimated the project may cost roughly $500 million. By the way, it never costs that. Their estimates, it's going to be double that probably.
Yeah, it's more
These are
like
just
a
estimates.
trillion or a billion, excuse me.
$1 billion, yeah. According to sources in recent weeks, U.S. officials have advanced the proposal in discussions with the Israeli government and the IDF, and have begun considering potential sites in the Gaza border area. Security sources told Shorim that the move represents a major shift in U.S. engagement. It's hard to overstate the significance of building such a base, one official said. Since the Six-Day War, Israel has sought to minimize international involvement in the territories. The establishment of an American base on Israeli soil shows how determined Washington is to be involved in Gaza and the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
And again, they're doing, I'm sorry, Angel. They're doing this because they don't give a fuck if you can eat at the end of the week. They only want to fuck with Gaza people. They want to keep this genocide going because they hate you and they hate Palestinians. God damn it, people. Wake up.
The investment could also spark political debate in the United States. Many members of the Republican Party oppose expanding America's overseas military footprint, especially amid domestic budget pressures and voter fatigue with foreign interventions. This is not really true. I mean, the Republicans love, they're in favor of this for the most part. Maybe Thomas Massey isn't, but the rest of the party is completely behind building more military bases.
Well, that's okay. They can just make Massey look like a demented person.
MTG is in favor of it either.
MTG, you know me.
Rand Paul.
I don't know what she's trying to pull.
I
don't know what she's trying to pull, and she's trying to turn a babyface turn or something, or she wants to run for president.
That's all it is. It's a babyface turn. They make certain people baby faces, and really they just work for all the same people.
The president said, I don't know what's wrong with her. I mean, she's like crazy, lately. So
see, just the people that they're trying to build as baby faces are crazy. They're cray or
crazy faces.
I don't know where their head's at.
That's a crazy person telling others they've gone crazy.
Yeah.
I think that she's trying to run for president, and that's why she's trying to take that Trump mantle, because she's anti-war all of a sudden. She's against the Israeli-Palestine thing, the Israeli war in Palestine.
She ain't doing dick to do anything about it. She's just sitting there talking about it.
Yeah, she wants to run for president.
She smeared people early on who were against the genocide. She smeared people early on.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Now she's completely done the exact opposite.
Now she's done her babyface turn, and Trump is helping her.
Yeah, Trump is like, I don't know what's wrong with her. She's like, so yeah, I don't know whether she's losing it or whatever. I don't remember exactly the exact word he used, but he's like calling her crazy. Until now, the U.S. military presence in Israel has been limited. Following signing of the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas, about 200 U.S. troops were deployed to Israel to operate from the U.S. Central Military Coordination Center in Kiryat Gat. During the war with Iran, the U.S. also deployed 2 THAAD missile defense batteries, which played a role in intercepting Iranian missile attacks. The planned base would mark a significant expansion of U.S. activity in Israel and comes with amid moves that already curtailed Israel's operational autonomy in Gaza. According to sources familiar with the matter, CMCC and Kiryat Gat is expected to take full control of humanitarian aid distribution in Gaza, relegating Israel's coordination and government activities in the territories to a marginal role. The transition was first reported by the Washington Post earlier this week, which noted that the move relegates Israel to a secondary role in determining how and what humanitarian relief can enter Gaza. The CMCC takes lead. There's the vice president. The CMCC and Kiryat Gat is going to be responsible for most of the activities in Gaza, and Israel's status in the position of dominant player in Gaza is going to change. A senior researcher at Tel Aviv University, said to Shorim. Shorim reached out to U.S. Embassy in Israel for comment. Embassy to the U.S. Department of Defense, which in questions the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, as a public application, CENTCOM has not responded to comment. So basically, the U.S. military is taking over.
He blows Peter Thiel.
Yeah, basically the U.S. military is taking over. They're taking over Gaza, and Israel is like in a secondary role, and the U.S. military would just like, fuck off, Israel. This is ours now. So that's basically what's going to end up happening. U.S. will take control of Gaza altogether.
And
Maybe it'll
what
be
will happen is what they do over there, they will do over here. So if you don't sign up for their CBDCs and digital IDs, we probably will be bombed or jailed or both.
Yep. So yeah, so the U.S. military it'll probably be a colony of the U.S. just like Puerto Rico is. Most likely, the U.S. military will control it.
And if you don't give
And
up your kids to them, they will literally bomb you. And like I said, I am not I'm not up for self deletion. I do not have any ill thoughts to myself or
Yep.
my family. So I'm just telling everybody now, I have no reason to self delete.
Let's see here. Yeah. So
I did not have sex with Hillary Clinton.
That's obvious.
I did not have sexual relations with that one.
So
means
the
Hillary.
Russian. Let's go to
I don't think they've
Russia.
ever banged. That was just a marriage of convenience. And that's really all the rich marriages are. I mean, rich people literally get married just because they have to. It's called arranged marriages, guys. They don't get into this they all have open marriages. That's why a lot of Congress people were getting caught with picking up guys doing Morse code in a bathroom. Or they were
Chelsea
picking
looks
up guys
like that
somewhere
other
else.
guy. Chelsea looks like she could be the kid of that other guy
I'm sure. That's what I
that
mean.
Hillary worked for.
They all have open marriages. The rich do not care. They're all evil, very, very evil people. They've lost their souls a long time ago.
So Democrats are very angry because it turns out that Epstein was getting advice, or actually, no, wait, what was it? It's not this. It's not the one.
Yeah, Morgan J. Freeman.
Where
We
was it?
already knew the U.S. was compromised.
So Epstein was advising Russia to handle Donald Trump. So that's actually smart by the Russians because Epstein knew Trump very well. So it's like, okay, how do we handle Donald Trump when it's just during his
Insert the
first
Putin
term?
laughing
Uh-huh. Even though Epstein was a pedophile, but it was smart for the Russians to reach out to him because he was very close to Donald Trump. So you know Trump because what do you know about him? Whatever, So it's like
because he did the sanctions against Russia, and that didn't do a fucking thing. But still, the whole Russia gate. Russia, that kind of thing. The thing is, everyone here. If I could just say to the audience, please read Whitney Webb's books, One Nation Under Blackmail, Volume 1 and 2. Even if you have to listen to it, great books, very well, read and very well researched. She really tells her stuff. And what I've learned from those volumes is literally everyone's fucking connected, and everyone in Hollywood and all the politicians and everyone in Hollywood are fucking pedophiles. They all knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. Do not let them fool you.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a moment. I agree with you. These politicians selected from Young Day. She was also a sign control bill, but she's also a perp. Do you know the Democratic Party, the Democratic Leadership Council? They choose potential politicians in college to run for office, and they trained them how to sound progressive in college. So when they run for office, they know how to sound progressive, but they really are centrist.
That's why they're trying to make college rich people's.
They're
trying to make so that you can't afford college, but the rich people can afford college, and their kids don't even want to be in college. Well, we heard that scandal where the one lady from was it Full House or something? She paid a bunch of money for her kid to go to college. She didn't even want to go to college, even though she's a rich bitch and could do whatever she wants. But again, they train these people because they're rich. They never have to work a day in their lives. They don't care about poor people. They train them so they will say, as long as you do this, this, and this, you will be a fine politician, and we'll let you into the club.
Yeah.
We have by the way.
Kitty.
Most young Democrats came out of the Democratic Leadership Council. Bill Clinton came out of that they picked him in college, that he's going to be president one day, and they trained him up on how to sound progressive and triangulate to the center once he got elected, which is exactly what he did.
He was already from a dynasty. His family was already from a political dynasty. Clintons were from like the earliest times of the U.S. Clintons were in office.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
everyone's fucking connected. I'm telling you.
I believe, or I could be wrong about this, but I believe Crystal Ball also came from the Democratic Leadership Council. They
Of course.
picked her out in college when she was in college too.
Most of them go to Yale. Some of them go to Harvard. Those are the rich elite schools.
Didn't
That's
Crystal
why-
Ball support Israel back then?
Yes, she did. Back in the day,
she's-
like 10 or
doesn't she
20
right
years
now?
ago.
Well,
No,
she's out against Israel. But back
Oh,
then,
well, she's
now she's
positioning
against it because
herself.
it's popular now, right?
She's positioning herself as a anti-Zionist, but 10 years ago she was fine with Zionism. So when she was at MSNBC, so these people are all trained. All these Democrats are trained. They're trained to sound progressive, but then as soon as they get elected, they move to the center, or they go into media and they act progressive, but they really ultimately are not. They always sheep herd you back in party. Crystal Ball does that. Kyle Kalinske does that. The Young Turks do that. They all do this. It's all trained, and they're all.
He's
And
like,
they're
look at
all
my butt.
I
the
would
script.
say Anna Kasparian, not saying she's fully turned, but I'm saying she's kind of, been better as of late. Kind of, I will say.
Well, look,
Yeah,
I don't
a
condone
little bit
any-
of partial credit. I'm not impressed.
I mean, I don't agree with any kind of women violence against women, and she says she was, essayed by a homeless person. But again, I question that because, first of all, she doesn't have a very good track record with the Me Too thing, what she tried to do to Jimmy Dore. So again, believe all women, but unless there's evidence that says otherwise.
Hey, Anna, nice news skirt.
Yeah, nice news skirt. Which part of that was essay?
I remember Kyle
David
Kalinske
asked-
said he wanted to punt, like if he would say he would punch him or something if he said that or whatever.
He said, if anyone
Yeah.
said about my woman that what he said, I would punch him. And what he said was she was
not
dressed
gonna do
inappropriately for the workplace. You're going to punch someone for saying that your woman is dressed inappropriately
Yeah, I
for the
mean,
workplace?
honestly, and when Kyle said that, sorry, Angel, we'll get right back to Kiev, promise. When he said that, I was like, so he's like, what are you, a fundamentalist Christian? No, but
He's trying to impress Crystal. He's been a tough guy to impress Crystal.
Yeah,
right.
that's what he's doing.
If I looked like that, I mean, no offense, but if I dress slutty, there's a reason why I'm dressing like a slut. Okay, it's because I want men to look at me and I want women to hate me. Right? There's only one reason to dress like that, and even my father and my brother, I'm sure, and my soon-to-be husband would be like, why are you dressing like a slut? Who are you trying to pick up? Why aren't you, my man would be like, why aren't you dressing sexy like that just for me? Because honestly, if she was married at the time, she had a boyfriend.
Yeah,
if I were her boyfriend, I'd look at her and go, are you fucking nuts? Why are you dressing like a fucking slut? Are you trying to show off your coochie to everybody? Nobody wants to see your fucking coochie, Anna. You have a fucking mental problem. There's only
I disagree with the coochie part, though. I'm sure someone wants to see the coochie.
Well,
but it was a very frat house attitude in TYT back then. Like old TYT was very
that's why they had they were trying to act like Howard Stern. I didn't even like Howard Stern when he was supposedly him.
Yeah.
But
they
what
put
I
on
mean,
the calendar.
Remember the Howard
calendar.
Right. What I mean by that is, again, there's only one reason why women, trust me, I'm a woman. I only dress sexy for the man I'm trying to impress. Anna has a problem. The fact that she dresses like that to work means that she wants to try to make all the men look at her coochie. Again, nobody wants to see your coochie. Okay.
Again, I might.
Okay, you might. Okay, well, that's different. But I mean, I feel bad for her husband, even though she praises her husband up and down. She was a really fucking big slut. A lot of people
back in the
thought
day,
she was probably banging every guy she could.
I
used
used
a segment on their channel where she got a guy to buy her shoes.
Yeah.
If you come home and tell me that another man bought you shoes, then we're over. You don't want me. Okay. Yeah. There's problems in Anna's relationship with her husband. She has mental problems where she thinks that she has to dress like a slut to impress men. No. There's only one man you need to impress, and that's your husband. Otherwise, you would not be dressing like a slut.
Didn't Anna also have like a nose job a long time ago?
She had a nose job?
Yeah, nose job.
Yeah, apparently multiple ones because she had a problem with her nose. David asked, what was the name of the school that trained dictators? School of the Americas. And they changed the name now. There's something else. I forget what it is now, but they're still training. They're still training dictators, but yes, that school is still around, but they named it something else because School of the Americas got such a bad rap because they were training all the the military juntas in South America that were running like Chile and Venezuela, all the military juntas. They trained them all. So to be
reminds me of
Blessed be
BlackRock when they
John.
had
Hi,
that,
John.
when they had that student that
um,
tried to kill Trump.
Yeah,
David
that
agrees
was
with
all
me on
bullshit.
the Russians ended up pummeling Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, with ballistic missiles overnight. So the Russians are actually striking at Kyiv, which they never do. They strike all around Ukraine, but they avoid the capital. Now they're striking there. The Russian army is striking military and critical infrastructure with Geriams and Kenazil missiles. Several of the largest power plants in Kyiv were hit.
My reaction
this
to
is
that is wah wah.
I mean,
seems
this
like-
is the end of this should be the end of, but again, the only people who can stop this war is Russia. No, I don't think they're going to do that because the tensions between America and they're just using Kiev or using Zelensky's puppet. But they don't want this war to end. They want to be big bad Russia. They want the big Cold War again.
Yeah, here's the thing: the Russians could have.
I've ever seen.
The Russians could have controlled Kyiv within a week if they wanted to, but they don't. They didn't do it because they wanted the peace deal. They wanted a deal that Ukraine wouldn't join NATO. Right. This war, that's the only reason why this war keeps going, because the U.S. keeps saying that they want Ukraine in NATO.
Right.
And that's a non-starter for the Russians.
And that's a big slap in the face to the Russians, who literally were told, we will not extend to your border. And what did NATO do? They went up against Russia's border.
They went east. And technically, the U.S. claims, well, we never agreed to that. We may have promised it to Gorbachev, but we never actually agreed to it on paper, which is why they continue going east, even though they technically never put it on paper.
I think they actually did. I think the paper was eventually discovered.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because
I might be wrong.
Again, they'll say anything to, oh, no, we can't help big bad Russia. Russia bad, Back in the 50s, this was the thing with the Cold War. I'd rather be dead than a commie. There was nothing wrong with communism. Here's what's wrong with communism. It was never allowed to flourish because they didn't want Americans. They wanted Americans stupid. They didn't want to say, oh, well, why can't we have that? Because communism just means public owned. So does socialism. Think about this. All the public streets, you do not have to pay to drive on them. Those are called tolls. Those are called private roads.
And now they're not even communists.
That wasn't Palpatine. It was my Zelensky impression. That's how he talks.
Fiorella, by the way, if you haven't.
Somebody's at the door.
I don't know. It's not me.
I hear it too. I don't know.
This was Fiorella said this is after Russia faced a large-scale UAV raid involving multiple drones in Novorossiysk. Sorry, it's the Russians. I don't know. On November 14th, Ukraine carried out drone strikes on Novorossiysk, damaging a ship and several residential buildings and an oil depot. So basically, this is the Russians' response to that. They are attacking Kyiv.
So remember, stand with Ukraine.
I'd rather not.
The map has barely moved. Russia has controlled the entire eastern side of Ukraine for almost this entire time.
This entire thing is just that so we can have never-ending wars that are never going to end, and you always have to have an enemy, so it might as well be Russia, even though most Americans are like, Putin's not my enemy.
Yeah.
Well, at least some Americans will say that. I don't know most of them.
It's like that funny meme. Don't shoot. I'm retarded. Prove it. I stand with Ukraine.
Yes.
That's a one. Let's see. Let's get to whoops.
The way to really stand with them is for peace. If you really want to stand with Ukraine, you should have wanted peace this whole time.
That ding dong, ding dong. Somebody
I heard it too, but I don't know whose doorbell's being rung. It's not mine.
Mine. We don't have a doorbell. We don't have one of them rings either, because I don't want the government looking at people coming in and out of my house. None of your fucking business, government, who's in my house.
You're being a little too much there. You can have a doorbell.
I could have a doorbell where?
Well, most
you're being a little too care for, or whatever the word I would
Most
use.
people have like that Ring doorbell now, which records you, like records everything.
Yeah, I mean, just
and
because you
Amazon,
have one doesn't mean anything. They literally, the government can spy on you and look who's coming in and out of your house.
And Amazon is allowing the U.S. government and police departments to look through your footage remotely without a warrant. They just let them look at the footage of your house, and you don't know about it. They don't have to tell you. Amazon.
I don't have an Alexa or nothing. I don't have anything. I mean, I have a phone because everybody else has a phone, and yes, they're spying on me, but I don't fucking care if they know fucking business. And if they try to take me down, well, go ahead, take me down, because I ain't talking to nobody I shouldn't be.
So the Kremlin said, this is from yesterday, the Kremlin says Russia is opening the talks, but will continue war until Ukraine is prepared to negotiate. So they're not giving in on this. The Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov explained that the Kremlin is still open to negotiate a settlement in the war of Ukraine. A Russian diplomatic source said that a second summit between President Vladimir Putin and President Donald Trump is necessary. Given the lack of opportunity to continue negotiations, we would certainly proceed with special military operations to achieve the objectives set by the Supreme Commander-in-Chief and the President Vladimir Putin.
That's
Peskov
right, David. I did not self-delete.
The Russian, he continued, Russia is open to settling the Ukraine conflict via political and diplomatic means. With the lack of such an opportunity, when doors have been slammed shut by the Kyiv regime, we will continue with special military operations. He made the remarks that Russian forces have made significant gains in the Donbass in recent weeks. Russian soldiers have seized Ukrainian villages across the front lines and have nearly taken control over a key city in the Donbass. The Kremlin is demanding that Kyiv recognize Moscow's claim to the Donbass and the territory in southern Ukraine held by Russian forces. Putin is also calling on Ukraine to agree to never join NATO and to demilitarize. Kyiv says the war will not end until all its territories retaken. That's not happening, and you're kind of delusional. I think that's happening.
Including Crimea.
Wow.
Yeah, they want Crimea back too. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Additionally, Ukrainian President Zelensky says Putin must be tried for war crimes. That's not going to happen either.
Yeah, right after you are, Zelensky, you fucking dumbass. You're the one who literally got rid of elections. You're the one who was prosecuting Christians. You're the one who was literally doing all the war crimes, motherfucker.
Right.
So, and I'll let Putin go right after you, motherfucker.
He's saying elections will start. They'll have.
Let's not forget that Zelensky used to be an actor.
Right.
Yeah,
he's saying they'll have elections. He's saying they'll do elections again once everything is retaken, including Crimea, which means they'll never have elections again.
They'll never have elections again. And guess what? No. Now you have a dictator, Ukraine.
So the one issue I have with the Russians' demand Ukraine to demilitarize. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. The Russians will, the Ukrainians will not demilitarize. So this war might continue in perpetuity. There's some optimism that President Donald Trump could end the conflict. On the campaign, President said he would end the
Trump's
war
not going to
within
do
one
that.
day.
Trump's not going to do that. He said he would do it 24 hours after he was elected, and here we are.
And then they said he was joking.
And then, he was joking about
the White House said he was joking when he got inaugurated.
Oh, what a funny joke!
The Kremlin says no significant progress was made this year, and that Kyiv had withdrawn from negotiations. And additionally, a Russian diplomatic source told the state media that Putin and Trump needed to meet again. The leaders met August 15th in Alaska. After a mid-October phone call of Putin, Trump announced the two leaders would meet in Hungary. However, the summit was called off after a phone call between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Again, Rubio probably said something Lavrov likes, so they canceled the meeting. The issue, because Marco Rubio is an ass. I mean, he's arrogant, he's condescending.
Yeah, he obviously sucks the right dick to stay where he is.
It's Rubio.
The issue of a new meeting with the presidents were announced in context by Lavrov in a phone call to Rubio October 20th. The Russian diplomat said the summit is definitely necessary, but it must be preceded by careful organizational substantive
I don't know about that, Dave.
Preparation.
I don't know about that. Remember,
However,
he was sorry, Angel, 1 second. He was in a room full of 15-year-olds while they were dressing.
15-year-old women, not girls, by the way.
Women.
Callback.
However, this is only feasible if the U.S. adheres to the Anchorage agreements. He added, "We are convinced that the practical details of the meeting between the presidents must be worked out in the spirit of the understandings reached in Alaska." So this is the Libertarian Institute. When they talk about how the president promised to end the war in 24 hours, they're kind of, claiming they're sucking up the Trump air to hope that he would do what they want. Libertarians are anti-war, but they also kind of support Trump. So it's like there are times where
Remember
they
when
do
Trump
stuff
was
like
saying, "I want them to stop dying."
I just want people to stop dying. He's like, he was talking about rich people. He was talking about rich people.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why a rich person would die in this country or in any country, literally, is because he was a sacrifice for something. Like he fucked over a bunch of rich people or whatever. Because killing poor people, that's just a Tuesday. But killing a rich person, my God, the whole world has to stop.
There we go. So let's get to this. The United States is going to build more bases, this time in Damascus in Syria.
Of course.
According to Reuters, the purpose of the military presence will be to help enable a security deal between Israel and Syria.
Because we haven't learned anything from Iraq, or we haven't learned anything from overtaking Libya,
the US,
open slave markets.
So the U.S. You're going to build a military base to establish peace between Syria and Israel. The same thing in Gaza. They're going to build that base to make sure the peace deal continues. So let's put the U.S. military there that wants to go to war.
Is that the lie that they're perpetrating? Is that the delusion that they're perpetrating? Okay.
The U.S. is planning to establish a military base in Damascus. Reuters has reported as Trump administration continues to strongly back the new Syrian government that is led by former Al-Qaeda leader Ahmed al-Sharia. So he was Al-Qaeda, and in fact, there's a picture of him 15 years ago that the FBI wanted him, and he was number one most wanted. Now all of a sudden they put a suit on him, and they act like he's a politician and a president. I mean,
hashtag never forget.
Hashtag then they forgot.
Then they forgot.
The report said that the U.S.
Where's Tulsi Gabbard? Remember all the times she was defending Assad and all this stuff about Syria?
She's too busy sucking a dick and then becoming a pedophile.
She's the head. She's director of national intelligence. She keep putting out information about how Obama tried to screw over Trump in 2016. That's what she's doing. So even though it was 10 years ago, nobody cares. Yeah, it already happened. So the report said the U.S. will establish a military presence at an air base in the outskirts of the Syrian capital for purposes of enabling a security pact Washington is attempting to broker between Israel and Syria. The idea would be for the U.S. military to monitor a potential deal that would include a demilitarization of areas south of Damascus. Officials compared it to the U.S. monitoring the ceasefire deal in Lebanon, which Israel has constantly violated, and the ceasefire deal in Gaza, which Israel has also been in breach of.
Dave, you're too much.
There is the Al-Qaeda leader. They put a suit on him, and Trump is like endorsing him and shaking his hand. So
I'm surprised they ain't sucking his dick.
Yeah,
he probably will later.
The Syrian foreign ministry official later told Syria state news agency Sana that the Reuters report was untrue, but did not specify or deny the U.S. would establish a military presence in Damascus. The current stage marks a transformation in the U.S. position toward direct engaging with the Syrian central government in Damascus and toward supporting the country's unity while rejecting any calls for partition, the official said.
Dave, you're still too much. Pancakes. He calls Tulsi Gabbard pancakes because
Dave. He's responding.
I love you, Dave. That's why you're my big brother.
Yeah.
Fully burnt off from outside.
Syrian defense minister told Reuters the U.S. had gone to the base. No, I don't want Siri on randomly.
No!
Siri just popped up randomly on my phone.
Siri's like, "Can I suck your dick?" And you're like, "No, shut up, Siri."
It's like I'm saying unapproved talking points I'm using, so it just turned on randomly on my phone. Syrian defense minister told Reuters.
Oh God.
Again. I might turn
again.
Turn it off. Turn off.
They're listening. I'm telling you, they're listening.
transport to aircraft to ensure the runway was unusable, and a security guard at one of the base's entrances said that American aircraft was landing there as part of tests, unquote. Previous reports Trump's administration may sign an agreement with the new Syrian government to formalize its military presence in Syria. The U.S. has been closing bases in northeast Syria, but is expected to maintain a presence at the El Tanif garrison in the south, which is situated with the borders of Syria and Iraq and Jordan converge. President Trump will be hosting Shura at the White House on Monday, where he's expected to formally join the U.S.-led anti-ISIS coalition. Ahead of the visit, the U.S. is asking the UN to lift sanctions on Syria, which were imposed with his history as Al-Qaeda commander and associate Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, who's the leader of ISIS.
Hey, you try saying
he
that
was
5
leader of
times fast.
ISIS.
Good job.
So,
Good job, Angel.
yeah, there you go.
It's not
No.
ISIS, it's ISIL actually, but because ISIS was an Egyptian goddess.
Which is why I remember Obama kept calling it ISIL when he was president. I'm like, what is ISIS technically, isn't it? And they call themselves ISIS, as far as I know.
Right,
so whatever.
Islamic State or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the verbiage. But yeah, they accidentally named themselves after an Egyptian goddess. Just saying. And they will literally throw anybody off the roof like me, who is a witch. So, I mean, it doesn't quite fit. I didn't get that. I'm like, why did you name yourselves after Egyptian goddess by accident when you literally throw people off a roof for witchcraft anyway?
I should have reported on this before when I was talking about Russia, but the Nordic and Baltic states pledged $500 million to purchase U.S. weapons for Ukraine.
Oh.
NATO countries have pledged over $3 billion in the new initiative known as Hurel. A group of 8 Baltic and Nordic NATO states have announced on Thursday they're pulling together funds to pledge $500 million to NATO scheme that funds U.S. shipments to Ukraine, known as the Prioritized Ukraine Requirements List, or PUR for short. This is all these countries all giving their money to U.S. defense contractors to build weapons, so they get rich.
Sorry, Angel, 1 second. Jacqueline, that's what I was told. They accidentally named themselves after ISIS, and ISIS is literally an Egyptian goddess. I don't know if they did it accidental or they did it on purpose, but I'm saying that their kind of mentality where they hated people who did witchcraft like me and threw them off of roofs anyway, or that maybe that was just Saudi. Yeah. But I'm sure in Syria they kind of frown upon witchcraft. So
it's not ISIS. It's
Saudis.
So, to answer your question, I'm sorry, Angel, one more time. To answer your question, Jacqueline, it probably was accidental. I don't know. It's kind of a coinkydink that they named themselves accidentally, or I say accidentally because maybe it was on purpose, but they named themselves after an Egyptian goddess of childbirth too.
According to numbers released by Ukraine, the new package funded by Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Iceland, Latvia, and Lithuania, Norway, and Sweden bring the total funds pledged by NATO countries to $3.3 billion, which all goes to U.S. defense contractors, by the way. The initiative first began over the summer following a White House meeting between President Donald Trump and the NATO Security General Mark Rutte. The U.S. started shipping weapons to Ukraine using the pooled funds in September. And the U.S. have not detailed the contents of each Pearl purchase, but reports said it's primarily air defenses, including Patriot missile interceptors, missiles for the HIMARS rocket system, and other type of munitions. The Trump administration also continued to ship weapons packages to Ukraine that were previously approved by the Biden administration, and have approved several weapon sales for Ukraine, including one that is partially funded by U.S. military aid and will arm Ukrainian forces. Long-range cruise missiles, the U.S. weapon shipment to Ukraine, were reportedly slowed by the government shutdown, which ended this week. The news of the latest funding comes as Ukraine is losing territory to advancing Russian forces in both the eastern and southern Ukraine. Peace talks have remained stalled. So, yeah, basically, these countries are giving all their taxpayer money to U.S. defense contractors. They get rich. Their stock price goes up. And this is a game. This is
all part of the plan, guys. And it was approved by Biden and it was kept on by Trump. Again, it's
but
like
Trump
a
promised to end the
door.
war in 24 hours. Remember
and it's
that.
a revolving door.
I was kidding. It was a joke. It was a sarcastic joke. I'm funny like that. All the worst people in the world told us that to do this shit too. Anytime there's one of these war things, all the worst people in the world come out to say yeah, we need to do this. That's one of the ways you can know it's bullshit. If Lindsey Graham tells you to do it, if Dick Cheney and Hillary Clinton tell you to do it, it's a bad idea.
To quote from a popular video game, the truth is the game was rigged from the start.
Well, and that's the thing is, they want to talk about how, Lindsey Graham, before this all happened, back in 2014, he went over to Ukraine and literally said, hey, we'll fight to the last Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Again, believe him. They don't care about Ukrainians.
I covered an entire episode on Russia and the history about how it was Lindsey Graham, John McCain, I think Chris Van Holland also to Ukraine right before the revolution that took out Viktor Yanukovych, because Viktor Yanukovych did make a deal with Vladimir Putin instead with the U.S. So that began the overthrow of Ukraine.
Have you played that clip where Lindsey Graham's talking about? I think Zelensky was right there next to him, and he's talking about how they're we're gonna get the rare earth minerals. They'll pay us back. Ukraine's gonna pay us back in their minerals.
All they care about is the minerals, baby. They don't give a fuck about any Ukrainians.
Greta Thunberg visited Zelensky. I think I
yeah, I'm sure she sucked his dick. I'm sure.
And then they had her go to Gaza in order to rehabilitate her credibility. So, Trump presented with options to bomb Venezuela. No final decision is made.
Here
the leak
go.
about
Here's
military operations could be part of a psychological operation aimed at Maduro. Senior military officials on Wednesday, this is from yesterday, by the way, presented President Trump with options for potential military operations in Venezuela, including strikes on land. The report, which cited White House officials familiar with the meeting, said that Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane were involved in the briefing that presented potential options for the coming days, though no final decision was made. The report comes after signs that the president was cooling on the idea of launching a war in Venezuela through a U.S. aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, and 3 U.S. Navy destroyers just arrived in the region, significantly bolstering U.S. forces in the Caribbean. The leaks to CBS News about the briefing could be part of a psychological operation against Maduro aimed at pressuring him to voluntarily step down from power, although that's unlikely to happen. So CBS probably knew that this was part of a psychological campaign, and they still reported on it. Like, they knew about it. Like, they're just helping the administration with their psychological campaign against Maduro, try to scare him into stepping down.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, this is just another proxy war to get the minerals, as you said earlier, Angel. This is all to get the minerals. They don't give a fuck about Venezuelans. They don't give a fuck about how much, military we have to, extend ourselves. And if you listen to Richard Wolff, this is how, the empires end, because they overextend themselves and they don't care.
America is going down the path of the Roman Empire. Because again, they did the same thing. They overextended themselves. They took control too much land. So eventually the barbarians took Rome, and that was the end of the empire at that point. I'm not saying the U.S. is going to be invaded at the end of the U.S. empire, but, we're going down that path for sure. Let's see. The Wall Street Journal reported on November 5th that the president expressed reservations about attacking Venezuela, that he was content with slowly building up U.S. forces in the region and continuing the illegal bombing camps, alleged drug-running boats in the region.
There's no drug-running boats. That was all made up.
So Trump is allegedly cooling on the idea of the war, but the push towards regime change war in Venezuela is being driven by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who also serves as President Trump's national security advisor.
Little Marco.
The reports have said that Stephen Miller, the president's senior domestic policy advisor, also favors war. What the hell is Stephen Miller doing in that meeting? He's supposed to be the senior domestic policy advisor.
It doesn't matter. Stephen Miller, these are people that literally met a war they never liked or they never hated. They love war. It makes them very rich. And again, even if this is all bonk or whatever. Yeah, I mean, they don't care. Trump is like this too. Oh, he's cooling on it. No, he isn't. That's why he's threatening Maduro every which way to Sunday.
Trump goes back and forth on cooling on it. Then he's, we're going to go to war.
Well, he'll get his mind right.
But I'm cooling on it.
He will get his mind right. I'm sure the puppets, he is the puppet and they're the puppeteers. I'm sure the puppeteers will make their puppet get his mind right.
It almost feels like an admission that it's going to become domestic policy at some point.
Exactly. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to, like the USS Maine, I think it was the USS Maine, during the Spanish-American War, that was hit by its own gunfire. It literally ignited because it had gunfire and it blew up by itself. Nobody
Yeah, it turned out
in Mexico had even touched it.
It hurt itself in its confusion.
Exactly.
Yeah, they thought that they claimed that it was well, the Spanish American War was against Spain, wasn't it? Unless I'm confused on
Spain.
that.
Well, Spain, but it was more with Mexico. But
so they claimed it was Spain, and then that's how they started the war, which ended up taking Puerto Rico, which we've talked about plenty of times, and how the U.S. is.
This is starting exactly like that, only they're starting with Venezuela. And again, if they have learned nothing from Libya, they have learned nothing from Iraq. If you overthrow Maduro, something else is going to take its place. It may turn out to be ISIL. It may turn out to be worse than what the original plan was.
The president,
but they don't care about that.
But there are concerns with the administration that taking out Maduro could plunge Venezuela into chaos and lead to another migrant crisis, akin to what happened in Libya after Muammar Gaddafi was brutally killed in the U.S. NATO bombing campaign.
Right, and that's the thing. They can blame, the immigrants are coming here. We don't know why they're coming here. They're taking their house. They're taking their job. No, they're not. You created the shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if we invade Venezuela, we're going to have to stay there permanently. And we're going to also take the oil and all the minerals they have. We're going to stay permanently.
That's what they want.
For the corporations.
The
Russians, we don't get the oil.
And we talked about it last week.
And that's the thing. The corporations will say, literally, I've heard someone on Fox News say, well, how dare they put their oil on their land on our oil? Like, how dare they have our oil under their land? Like, how dare you? That was on Fox News.
We talked about it last week, but the Russians are already saying if there's an invasion, they're going to help Maduro. So another proxy war between the Russians and the U.S. now, just like in Ukraine. So it's like,
I think we'll lose.
I
think we could overthrow. I think we could coup Maduro, but I think in the long term we'll lose. I don't think the people.
Yeah.
I think the people will resist. They're armed, and I don't think Americans are willing to die for this.
What Maduro is doing
doesn't matter. They'll have something like 9/11 or something, and they'll blame the Venezuelans. They'll somehow make the boogeyman the Venezuelan people, and that's really sad because they've been doing this throughout our history of the United States. Again, these people don't care.
What Maduro is doing, he's arming the entire population of Venezuela, and they're training him how to fight.
Yeah.
So the Venezuelan people are not, especially the gangsters, they're not going to put up with this. They're dangerous, these gangbangers in Venezuela. So they're arming them too.
Watch the film
the gangsters, the criminals in Venezuela. So they're arming them too. For a possible invasion.
Watch the film industry make a propaganda film about.
I'm sure. Again, regime change. Again, they learned nothing from Iraq. They've learned nothing from Libya, and this is just another war where we're going to spread ourselves really thin. People are already, they can't make ends meet. They literally are going hungry, and the rich people do not care. All they care about is their own power and their own wealth. They don't give a fuck about you.
Has anyone seen the video of Maduro talking peace in the street? I have. I saw that. The video reminds me of every downfall, these leaders going on the street one last time. Hitler, Saddam Hussein, to name a few. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
I saw that video. They're like one last goodbye. Basically, Maduro knows that they're probably going to invade. So it's like one last, speech to the people, to rally the people, to protect the country, basically, from the U.S.
Right, and that's the thing, is people are like, oh, this is good for the America. No, it's not. This is literally terrorism. This is called terrorism. The United States are terrorists. We're going into Venezuela because we have no reason to be there, but yet we still want the resources. That's what the American government does. And they use the pawns of the military because they know the military has to listen to the president, who is the military commander.
Yeah, David says they're not gangsters; they're bad hombres.
That's what Trump
called,
said.
these
bad
Mexicans. Rubio has previously directed ousting Maduro to the killing of Gaddafi. Back in 2019, when the first Trump administration attempted to unseat Maduro, Rubio posted a picture on Twitter of Gaddafi in the moments before he was killed as a threat to the Venezuelan leader. Marco Rubio was a senator then, so he's always been pro regime change in Latin America. Like he wants regime change in Cuba and Venezuela and Colombia now.
Again, they want to fuck with brown people, whether it's the Mexicans or Latinos, or they want to mess with fucking Gaza and Palestinians.
ironically, Marco Rubio is Cuban. He's Hispanic, so he's fucking around with trying to overthrow all these countries and
Money
screw over
talks, babe.
Hispanics.
Money talks. It doesn't matter if you're Hispanic or not. Money talks and bullshit talks.
Marco Rubio is fluent in Spanish. So when he was senator in Florida, he's always campaigning in Spanish and stuff. So to get people, ironically, Venezuelans and Cubans, right wing Venezuelans and Cubans to vote for him. It worked. I mean, they elected him.
It worked, right? Because he's like, I am you, but you're not. You don't care. Again, money talks and bullshit walks. Look at what happened with Obama. And did he help black people? Fuck no. Marco Rubio, same thing. Did he help Latinos and Hispanics? Fuck no. He don't give a fuck. Money talks and bullshit walks.
And I sent you another clip relating to all of this from Jimmy Dore back in 2019 when he was talking about U.S. trying to intervene in other countries. So
last week ahead of the Senate vote on a bill to Trump and starting a war with Venezuela without congressional authorization.
They have not done that since World War II.
Yeah, actually, that was a resolution. That was not a law, So it's just a virtue of the Senate.
Well, they can get around it. They could say it's gray area, right?
Yeah, which failed, by the way. That vote failed 49-51. Trump officials told lawmakers that they didn't directly have plans to bomb the country and that they lacked legal authorization to do so. But the administration also conveyed that they plan on getting a legal opinion in the Department of Justice to justify the strikes in Venezuela, which will still be without removal from Congress per the Constitution. The U.S. government doesn't care. Obama didn't care when he killed 2 Americans extrajudicially. The Trump doesn't care. He's killed more people. He's bombed boats, even though there's no evidence that they're drug boats. But even if they were drug boats, that's not justification. That's still illegal. So.
Trump killed the daughter. Obama killed the father and the son, and then Trump finished off the family by killing the 13-year-old daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, remember before Trump got reelected, you saw Trump and Obama interacting and laughing with each other in that funeral.
Again, in one big club, and we ain't in it, guys. We are not the elites. Elites don't care about you. They don't care about your kids. They don't care if you have enough to eat. They don't care if your kids have enough to eat. They just want to rape your fucking kids. They don't care about you.
Let's see. The U.S. Marines arm F-35Bs in Puerto Rico for Caribbean missions. So there's the F-35s there. This is from Defense Blog, by the way. New footage. United States Marine Corps aviation units are preparing for combat sorties in the Caribbean as part of ongoing missions directed by U.S. Southern Command and the Department of War. New footage by the Marine Corps show F-35Bs Lightning II aircraft being armed in Puerto Rico as U.S. forces continue to disrupt illicit trafficking routes across the region. According to the U.S. Marine Corps, the U.S. Marines and Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 225, assigned to U.S. Marine Corps Force South, loaded a GBU-54 laser Joint Direct Attack 35B Lightning II at Jose Aponte de la Torre Air 25th. The aircraft, a part of VMFA 225s, are deployed to support operations ordered by the president's priorities to disrupt illicit drug trafficking and protect the homeland. The Marine Corps said that activity demonstrates the squadron's readiness to conduct missions across the Caribbean as part of a wider Southern Command effort to monitor, interdict, and deter criminal networks that use the region air and corridors for smuggling. The U.S. Marine Corps emphasized that these operations are carried out under Department of War directed tasking and involved coordination with regional partners. The F-35Bs, a short that explains what the plane is. Let's see. The service was on specific mission profiles, but emphasized the role of the Marine Nation supporting Southern Command's regional mandate. The operations fall under a long-running U.S. effort to track trafficking networks and move narcotics around towards North America using fast boats, small aircraft, and covert maritime routes. By staging aircraft from Puerto Rico, the Marine Corps places advanced sensors, rapid response aviation, and precision strike capabilities within reach of trafficking corridors in recent years due to increased enforcement pressure elsewhere in the hemisphere. The deployment also reflects growing emphasis on flexible basing, allowing Marine Corps units to operate from smaller civilian dual-use facilities when necessary. So,
all these politicians are cokeheads, by the way. Like half of these
and
politicians
gay
are fucking cokeheads.
pedophiles. Oh, and by the way, the
like
people who literally picked on trans people are probably trans. I'm sure Megyn Kelly has a dick somewhere.
Remember Stone Cold with stepping in and he's like,
that.
"Am I about to stun my first transvestite?"
Exactly. Oh, Bill, you have some presence there. I'm like, oh, I can't unsee that. So
the operations, while operations take place outside the continental United States, they target trafficking routes that directly affect U.S. communities and law enforcement agencies. The presence of Marines F-35Bs also reflect a broader shift towards dispersing advanced aircraft across multiple forward locations, a concept the Department of War views as relevant not only towards counter-narcotics missions, but wider national security planning. So there you go. What was that? Hold on.
What happened to free market and
here, this is funny.
Supply and demand and all this. Like
this is funny here.
Free market for who? Poor people?
I'm not sure you guys see this, but
I feel like it's a contradiction.
You're a funny guy.
This is pretty funny here. If you wish to report a grammatical or factual error in any of our news articles, please let us know by using the online forum.
Nope.
So there's grammatical error. And if you have grammatical errors, please let us know, basically. So
Jackie, no, they don't. They pretend to because it's professional wrestling. Sorry, Angel. One thing.
Yeah.
Trump and Rubio do not despise each other. They only pretend to. It's kind of like I said, there's a reason why Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame, because he's always wanted to be a professional wrestler. Just he didn't want to work out and actually eat right and have a good body.
I have bone spurs.
He wanted to. He wanted to be like the psychological wrestler with the, all the stupid fucking storylines that they got. So no, they do not despise each other. They are on the same team.
No, that was Tiny Hands Rubio. It was all just bullshit.
Remember, Tulsi Gabbard suggested Trump should not hire Rubio in his cabinet, but then he still did. He didn't say
he joined the administration. She still joined the administration.
Trump's finishing move would be he takes his tiny hand and he shoves it down your throat like Sacco.
I got that Jimmy Dore shirt of Tiny Hands Trump or whatever.
Yeah,
Tiny Hands Trump.
I like that. Yeah, I do agree with that, Sean. That they do that. Why they call it ballroom? Because they make out it. They touch each other's balls.
Well,
they juggle the balls.
This is from the American Conservative. Foreign Affairs opinion piece. Don't do it, Mr. President.
Didn't we read that like a week or two ago?
I could have sworn we read this already.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
what's he whispering in his ear?
Because we were doing
right.
Saying, don't do it, really?
Oh, yeah, I screwed. No, I don't know why I bookmarked this again. It's from October 29th. Yeah, this is old. I already read this. All right, so.
No, that was a great article, though, because they are absolutely right. The problem is they don't have the balls or the grapefruits or whatever Vincent used to say.
Well, we can get to this article then.
They don't have any balls to do anything.
We can get to this one then. Good, because I didn't. I don't know what. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I remember because I was like, it looks like Barbara is going to give him a kiss.
Gray Zone. They're reporting on this. This is from a couple days ago though. The White House insiders knew of the 2020 Venezuela coup in advance.
Of course they did.
This is a really long article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is a really long article, so I'm just going to read some of it. Democrats. Files released on a federal court provide new and disturbing details of Trump associates' attempt to orchestrate a coup against the government they clearly did not understand. Unprecedented look at how the players and their plots from terrorism to false flags that may inform the looming military assault in Venezuela. The man the government blames it all, Jen Goudreau. Goudreau. I mean, that seems close enough. Provided evidence to the Gray Zone that he signed a $221 million contract with Venezuela as the U.S. schemed in public and private to designate him as the legitimate president of the country.
And then people didn't even know who he fucking was. They're like, "Who's this Juan Guaido?"
Yeah.
Nobody in the country knew who he fucking was.
He was Venezuela's Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, butt plug.
High-ranking Trump officials, including Elliot Abrams, John Bolton, and the top CIA official in Latin America, and the top NSC advisor appeared to know about the invasion plot and may have been involved in its planning. Trump associates formed a shady company to pursue profits in post-Maduro Venezuela after a Guaido associate urged him to act now and get companies and get paid. The CIA, an intelligence-linked propaganda firm called the Rendon, carried out sabotage of critical Venezuelan infrastructure for a decade or so. Proposal delivered to VP Pence, he's the vice president then office, included plans to conduct false flags in Venezuela, spread hepatitis military, and the scheme expropriation of drug products. So basically, they were going to do false flags in Venezuela, spread hepatitis within the country's military, get them all sick, and they're going to fund it through drug money, basically. Like, come on. Because drug money is untraceable, so they were going to do all this with drug money.
But everyone has to get on a digital ID, and you have to be watched at every moment of your life. But yet, you can't use cash because cash is like you can't trace it. Well, of course we can't trace it, motherfuckers. Actually, you can trace. You can cash, but only by like the numbers on it.
Numbers. Rowan Kraft, a wealthy intelligence-tied financier, recruited to fund aspects of the operation, told the FBI that he concluded if Venezuelans see something, they would steal it, accusing Guaido's pals of pocketing $200,000 in humanitarian aid money. Participants in the plot told the FBI that they viewed Venezuelan operation as hopelessly corrupt after witnessing its leaders blow huge sums on hookers, thousands of dollars in wine, and nail appointments for their girlfriends. Of course.
Is that where the hepatitis came from?
Maybe.
That was their plan to spread hepatitis.
Well, yeah, that's like 101 warfare right there. I mean, to be honest, they've been doing that for years.
Spread illness.
Illness is called bioterrorism. Bioterrorism.
I'm patient zero. I'm here to spread my hepatitis.
That's literally what COVID was. They wanted to see how much poor people would be sheeple. Yeah. And they did bioterrorism so that you would bow down to your masters and get vaccines that were poison, and they knew they were poison, and they gave the rich not that. Literally, I heard, and this could be bunk, but again, this is just what I read sometimes, because I do read. I read a lot. I saw on this article that literally they were using this kind of not COVID, but like versions of COVID. They were using it on the military as weapons, so they could be, immune against them. But they were also using them as bioterrorism. So they were doing it to the army to see which soldier would react a certain way. Now they did it to the public. So they were doing it on the military first. You see what I mean?
Yeah. On the morning of May 3rd, 2020, two small vessels powered by outboard mortars prowled through the coastal waters of Venezuela's La Guaira region. Unlike the 15 speedboats recently sunk by the U.S. Navy, they weren't alleged to be carrying drugs. Instead, they held something far more alarming: former U.S. Special Forces soldiers hoping to be received as liberators by the Venezuelan people. Alongside a handful of Venezuelans they have trained in the Colombian jungle, former Green Beret Irian Berry and Luke Denton plan to set off a violent national insurgency, which will culminate in the toppling and kidnapping of President of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. The pair were videotaped in the docks of the fishing village, face down and hogtied by the very Venezuelans they believed they were saving. So they got their asses kicked by the people, basically. Pathetic. They're Green Berets, allegedly got their ass. Officially, the ill-fated coup d'etat was known as Operation Gideon, but it would come to be popularly known, which is a reference to 1961 invasion of Cuba's Bay of Pigs. That failed too, by the way. They were humiliated immediately and arrested. So just like happened here in Venezuela. So yeah, what the hell are they doing? Like these they got their asses kicked instantly and got arrested. Miserable failure. 8 Venezuela. I'm glad they failed, by the way. I don't want to, make it seem like that I'm mad about it. 8 Venezuelan exiles were killed amid the aborted 2020 excursion, and prisons with 2 captured American soldiers were subsequently broadcast to the TV audiences across Venezuela. In the footage, Barry and Dedman made clear that the authorization for the operation went all the way up to the top of the U.S. government, pointing directly to President Trump as his chief executor of the mission. So the U.S. military threw him under the bus and said Mike Pompeo denied any direct involvement by the U.S. In the years since, the U.S. sought to plot as an unauthorized operation carried out by a rogue mercenary named Jordan Gordeau, a decorated who has since become the face of Gideon, was arrested in 2024 and now faces 14 charges over the federal government's allegation that he conspired to smuggle weapons through Colombia in the run-up to the failed plot. The charges carry a maximum combined sentence of 10 years. So they're throwing this guy under the bus, even though he insists he recruited to lead the coup against Venezuela's government by the head of Donald Trump's security team, Keith Schindler, and the operation proceeded with full knowledge.
It's Schiller.
With a full knowledge.
No, Schindler's okay.
Yeah, Schindler's okay.
Government. So Gordeau swears up and down that he was recruited by head of security Donald Trump, and that the government knew about it and fully supported it. So they're throwing this guy under the bus. It's like, oh, Trump and nothing. It's very similar to what they did with the Iran-Contra scandal. Ronald Reagan directed and approved of it and led the operation, but somehow once it was for the president, nothing to do with it. It was Oliver North and our agents that were arrested, and they were the face of Iran-Contra, even though they were ordered by the president Reagan to do this. So you always got to protect the U.S. president. You know what I mean? They can't go down for this. You'll have it, the grunts go down for it, basically.
I'll go down for Bill Clinton.
I just saw something that I was sorry, I am paying attention, but I just saw something on X that pisses me off. I mean, really? You got to bitch about this? There's so much shit to worry about, and you're bitching about it. Says the Satanic Temple, excuse me, let me try that again. The Satanic Temple flies its flag over a city hall in New Hampshire. So I would trust the Satanists before I would trust any fundamentalist Christian. Because at least those Satanists tells you where they're coming from.
Do you speak it?
Yeah, do you speak it, Steph?
Are they the Levians? Because
plenty of words here.
Fundamentalist Christian any fucking day of the week. And who cares? What if I flow my flag, my Wiccan flag? Are you going to bitch about that too? Go fuck yourself. I would rather see a satanic flag flying than a fucking Christian one.
most of the Levian Satanists are just trolling anyway. They're atheists usually, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is, we have a lot of Christians who bitch about all this kind of stuff. They're always like, go with God. Why can't you just love God? Yeah. And then I saw something that was really cool. It was a Republican Jesus, and it says, he said on to the sick, it's a $47 copay, motherfucker. That's Republican Jesus for you.
Now Goodell's legal team has gained access to unseen evidence of the figures who he says has orchestrated the coup. The gray zone among the first public review the material, which includes FBI interviews with participants in the plot, which demonstrate foreknowledge by top Trump associates, leaders of the government of Colombia, CIA officers and assets, and officials working directly under Vice President Mike Pence and Trump. The documents suggestions at the various stages the U.S. government monitored and supported the operation, which was sponsored by American financiers close to Trump, as well as Venezuelan opposition leaders financed by Washington. So there are rich people involved that connected to Trump, the vice president,
people on the
and
Epstein
Trump himself.
list.
Which I'm sure a lot of them are on the Epstein list. Look of high-minded objectives like democracy promotion, my ass, and holding bad actors to account. The Beltway operatives and spooks who were allegedly recruited by Gordeau to lead them to Caracas were driven a little more than greed. Hungry for a cut of Venezuela's vast oil and mineral for lucrative contracts in the day of after Maduro's departure. The white-collar coup plotters embarked on a quest for plunder that ended for me. They all failed miserably. Which is why the U.S.
Angel, sorry if I could just interrupt. It wasn't Richard Morris, it was Robert Morris. So Trump's spiritual advisor, aka a pastor, a Christian pastor. I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but a pastor, Robert Morris, was sentenced to 6 months in jail. 6 months in jail for abusing a 12-year-old kid. 6 months. Are you fucking kidding me?
Was connected to the president, so they're
gonna let a fucking child molester get less than a fucking murderer, and oh well, it was a 12-year-old's fault. How dare she be so fucking hot? What the fuck?
Yep.
Well, I believe they used the excuse that it happened a while ago.
It doesn't matter.
That was the excuse I saw.
And he's also connected to the president, so they're going to give him a slap on the wrist just to
This is
Trump.
what's wrong with our country, guys. We are letting pedophiles run our country.
The files reviewed by the Gray Zone also include recorded conversations, emails, and elaborate plans for coup and terrorist attacks concocted by influential Venezuelan opposition leaders. Taken together, they paint a deeply unflattering portrait of a political circle which the U.S. has trained and sponsored over the course of 2 decades. Among the allegations most frequently leveled by those involved in Operation Gideon was the top opposition figures were not only clownish degenerates, but prone to stealing their patrons in Washington. Of course they steal from Washington because Washington gives them all the money they want. So it's like, fuck it, let me spend it on hookers, wine. Let's spend all that money. Who cares?
Minors.
You know, they're gonna give us more anyways.
Minors who were trafficked.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they ain't doing that. I'm sure they are.
So why are you supporting clownish degenerates? I don't know, but that's what Washington does. I mean, they support criminals and degenerates and scumbags and pieces of shit. I'm saying the same thing over and over again, essentially, but you get my point. Those exposed for profile gate corruption in the Operation Gideon files opposed employees to take power at the U.S. military show of force ordered by Trump this October winds up toppling the Venezuela's government. They include leaders derided by U.S. financier of the operation as well as the former boss Leopoldo Lopez. And it's he's going to be back, by the way, if the Trump administration invades Venezuela and takes over the country.
I know. They're going to make the president and people are going to go, fuck is Juan Guaido? Have you heard of this dude? No, I ain't heard of this dude.
No, but if they invade Venezuela, Juan Guaido is back, by the way. He's going to probably be president for real this time. So, and not fake president. Who described the one FBI file as a potential recipient of funding from unnamed dealers. So Guaido is taking money from drug dealers now. So,
and I'm sure that those drug dealers are named the President of the United States and his lackeys.
However, the only figure that criminal penalties for Operation Gideon in the Green Beret who executed it. Facing years of hard detention, Guaido has skipped bail and disappeared. Before absconding, he participated in several interviews with the Gray Zone and provided us with an intel brief arguing that he would have never been in the position to lead a private army in Venezuela without the knowledge and blessing of the Trump White House. So this guy disappeared. Like he absconded, no one knows where he's at.
Nobody knows where he is until it rises again, and he will, like a fucking ugly person, will come out and
Well, let me say, funded by drug dealers, follow any illicit drug trade far enough, and where does it lead?
Right back to
it leads back to the CIA.
Yeah.
Right, the U.S.
it leads right back to the
CIA, FBI. Yeah, all those guys. They're all fucking drug dealers. Do not let them fool you. The government is the biggest drug dealer of them all, and they blame fucking cartels who they put in business.
I do want to go through this whole article, even though it's very long, but I'm probably the rest of it for next week. But let me just read a little bit more. Because I read the entire article, and it's like, wow, man, there's a lot of information here, which is very important. In the following decade, I think.
Who wrote this one, by the way?
Someone from the Gray Zone.
Yeah, the Gray Zone.
Breaking news.
Max Blumenthal.
Max. Okay.
Support from MTG.
What?
Okay.
Trump's withdrawn his support.
Max and Wyatt. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Max Blumenthal and Wyatt Reed. Okay.
And Wyatt Reed.
I don't know. I've heard things about Max Blumenthal. Sorry. I've heard stuff about Max that are not so good, that he's back and forth, I don't know.
I'm sorry. Israel? I mean...
Yeah, that he's going back and forth. Sometimes he likes Israel, sometimes he doesn't. It's like sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
His father, Sidney Blumenthal, a prominent Democrat. So it's like, so,
you heard what I said about Trump and MTG, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, okay. So I guess MTG wants to run for president, so that's why Trump is kind of, backing off her support, because I think he's going to support JD Vance for the presidency. Because
yes, he went on InfoWars. Max went on InfoWars today and was saying, "Oh, well, thank you for letting me talk about Israel." But Alex Jones is a pedophile. He is literally saying Trump being a pedophile is okay. Hey, it's okay if you're a pedophile. Hey, you should be able to diddle little kids all you want. That's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, I get it that you should get yourself out there, but not Alex Jones. Alex Jones is a fucking pedophile. He enables pedophiles. You're trying to do that.
Slow down, Steph. Slow down.
I'm saying Alex Jones is the worst person you could go on.
I've been screwing up the English language all night. So
see, I'm not the only one.
Once the solid U.S. ally and Cold War intelligence collaborator, Venezuela's relations with Washington began to fray. Once elected the populist Hugo Chavez in 1998, the charismatic army officer who came to prominence among leading the unsuccessful revolts against a repressive and unpopular neoliberal government in 1992, plunged headfirst into an ambitious plan to fund mass anti-poverty campaigns by nationalizing Venezuela's oil fields, which worked, by the way. Let's see. In the following decade, Chavez's initiative standards of living and oil production, reducing extreme poverty by 2/3 as revenue from oil exports quadruples. But it was less popular in Washington.
Nationalizing the oil is a big deal for us.
Right, because they didn't want poor people to have it. They wanted their rich corporations to have it. And that's why Chavez was ultimately murdered or whatever. Wasn't he
he died in 2013 of cancer, but he alleged right before his death that the U.S. gave him cancer.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. Watch out, D, or you'll trigger Dr. Nick. Huh? What?
And the follow.
I didn't see Dr.
Nick. So Washington decided to coup him in 2002, but for nearly 48 hours before spontaneous demonstrations and loyal factions of the military restored him to power. So, and also, Chavez did this too. He did. I remember these commercials like when I was a teenager, where they would air commercials in U.S. television saying, "We gave oil to poor Americans, and it's thanks to the Venezuelan people." So, and I remember these ads like, "Wow, Venezuela." I was a teenager then. I was like, "Wow, they keep talking shit about Hugo Chavez and how terrible he is, but look, he just gave free oil to poor Americans who couldn't afford it for their gas bill in the winter." And they're going to
how dare you do that? You know, I saw those commercials too, and it's almost like they were like, "Oh, how dare they give it to poor people?" Can you imagine the audacity of these people to give it to poor people?
Yeah, because it took away profit from U.S. oil companies that would charge a shit ton of money to these people, so they just give them oil, like free oil for their houses,
and we can't have that.
Largest oil reserves on the planet. That's why we're effing.
All right, bye, Jackie.
Yeah,
keep it real, girl.
We're going to wrap up in a few minutes anyways, but I'm going to read the rest of this article next week. So after Chavez's untimely death, his preferred successor and foreign minister, Nicolas Maduro, was elected months later. Within a year, then President Barack Obama enacted sweeping leveling claims of human rights abuses to justify targeting the country's oil sector and setting the stage for a series of violent regime change operations.
Hit like on your way out, guys.
Yes, please hit like and subscribe and share with
if you haven't already. Hit like. So I'm going to read the rest of this article next week because I read the whole thing. It's really long and it's really I believe it's like it just gives fully detailed information on this coup attempt in 2020. Now they're not doing some bullshit fake coup attempt. They're going to invade Venezuela soon.
Yeah, and they're doing it right in your face. It's not like, oh, well, we have to be quiet about Venezuela.
No. The administration is ready to invade any day now. In fact, I saw on Twitter that Trump is basically okayed the operation, but not officially though. He kind of like, yeah, we're gonna do it. I haven't decided when, but we're definitely gonna do it at some point. So it's like, any day now. The invasion going to start.
Operation Epstein distraction.
Maybe I'll think about it.
Yeah. See, this is just all a big. I mean, I know that they are planning on. They will invade because again, they've learned nothing from, like I said, Iraq. They learned nothing from Libya. They literally all they want to do is terrorism and dominate, so that our corporations come out on top. And again, poor people in Venezuela, I'm sorry, guys. We feel for you, but there's nothing we can do because we can barely make ends meet. Us poor people here in the United States can barely make ends meet. They're not going to listen to us. The rich people don't care about us. They want us all to own nothing, be happy, and eat sea bugs. And they sit around and suck dick all day. So, I mean, there's nothing we can do. Sorry,
so,
I wish there
pretty
was.
Funny. It's pretty funny. Manhattan psychotherapists report 75% of patients fixated on causing anxiety.
What?
On Fox News on November 14, 2025, Manhattan psychotherapist revealed that 75% of his patients exhibit intense fixation on Donald Trump, leading to symptoms including insomnia, anxiety, and disruptive daily activities. He described cases of trauma triggered by Trump-related news, contrasting this with historical national unity like after Reagan's 1981 shooting, and emphasized treating underlying mental health issues without endorsing Trump derangement syndrome as a formal diagnosis.
Okay, first of all, this is Fox News, so take it with a grain of salt. But second of all, what data are you talking to? A bunch of fucking rich liberals? That you have to be, because again, poor people have more to worry about than fucking Trump and how Trump is blowing everybody.
Yeah, so this has had to be a bunch of rich liberals. The interview sparked widespread discussion, over 189,000 engagement, highlighting polarized reaction to political obsession in divided America. So this
who's
is actually
dividing America are the fucking rich people. They want us to think that the immigrants are our enemies. They want to think. See, the thing is, I don't like therapy. First of all, I don't like psychologists. I don't like therapists. You know why? Because, and you can see this on James Corbett's, if you go on his website, you can see it. He has the history of psychology, and it wasn't really, it didn't start very well. You know, back in the slave times, they had people who literally thought that slaves were mentally ill, and that's why they want to be free. You had people who literally thought that was a mental illness for people who were enslaved to want to be free. That was a mental illness. So psychology is nothing but pseudoscience. Fuck that.
Rid of that. Anyways, before we go, I want you guys to check out IndieNewsNow.com. This is all the this is news aggregator that Indie created. There, the episode right there, Angel in the Afternoon. It's all the news from our great sources. Also, if you want to watch, you could watch live too. We're live on IndieNews.com too.
Woohoo!
So, also we have merch. So check out the merch.
Check out the merch, guys. You can find Pro Wrestling Talk merch, I'm sure.
Apparently, Indie hates your website.
Oh.
Yeah, we have Angel in the Afternoon gear. We have this shirt too that I'm wearing right now.
Woo!
Yeah. We have Angel in the Afternoon gear as well. We have indie gear. $23. So where is it? There it is.
Get them while you can.
My
They're
face
going like
right there.
hotcakes. Oh, look at that. That's Pro Wrestling Talk. You can get Pro Wrestling Talk.
Yeah.
Get them now before they get out. Hey, they make great Christmas gifts. Angel in the Afternoon. They make wonderful Christmas gifts and Yule gifts. So
you can get Angel in the Afternoon shirts in white or black. You can get.
Nobody's blowing anybody.
These are real. These are very comfortable shirts, by the way. I love this shirt. So very comfortable.
Get them while you can. They're going like hotcakes. They make great Christmas and Yule presents.
Make great Christmas presents or whatever you celebrate. Hanukkah, if you celebrate that. There's a Pro Wrestling Talk. They're only available in white apparently, but it's a great shirt still. So check it out there.
Earl, that's a new one. Yes, get your merchandise now. Pro Wrestling Talk. Like I said, they make great birthday presents, great Christmas presents, and Hanukkah, or even if you're an atheist but you like to give gifts, give the gift of Pro Wrestling Talk and Angel in the Afternoon.
So here's the link to that in the chat. But
here's my plug.
Yeah, I mean that was.
I got to plug Titan Skull Heavy Metal.
Yes,
There you go.
and listen to what Bill said.
Those are
Titan Skull Heavy Metal, available on the digital platforms and for free streaming. That's my bad.
Yeah.
There you go. That was my shameless plug, and that was Bill's shameless plug. And you have anything to plug, Witchy, or I assume you do before we go.
Yeah. So my next episode 113, I think, is coming out. So let me just pull that up. Sorry, I was not prepared for that one. So 113 is coming out on Sunday, and it's a dedication to Ravishing Rick Rude. Like somehow he does better numbers than Kurt, but don't tell him, it'll go to his head. So it's a dedication to Ravishing Rick Rude that will be coming out on Sunday on Rumble at 9 p.m. and then it'll be coming out on Thursday, 8 a.m. on YouTube.
I forgot.
And don't forget,
forgot to mention that.
This
I'm sorry, go finish up.
This Sunday, hopefully, I'm going to have the lovely Angel Rivera on my show. He's going to be guest hosting.
We should.
At 5:00 p.m., I'm going to go ahead and try to record one. If not, that's fine. I can just do it by myself again. And we will try to get the lovely Angel Rivera back on my show in January, January 9th, I believe. I have to double check. But I'm going to have the lovely Kit Cabello on. So, yes, Kit Cabello will be on my show again, thankfully.
So we also have tissues. Let me try
that
again. Stickers available, tissues. So we have a bunch of tissues. Why am I obsessed with tissues?
The only thing you don't have to put on a logo because it's going to get fucked up. Okay.
Yeah. We have Angel in the Afternoon stickers. We Deserve Better psyops, boats.
Smashing the other
Pro
boat.
Wrestling Talk.
Pro Wrestling Talk.
We have.
There's another shirt that should say "We're so fucked."
Right? Yeah, because we are fucked.
So, also the schedule has changed in INN. How Do We Miss That has become Indie News Now with Indie hosting by himself. That's every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Wednesday is still INN News. Thursday is a combination of shows that Indie hosts. Forget what they're called. I'm losing my mind. We got to wrap up.
Boats on Sunday nights at 11
coming
now.
to take me away.
Yeah, Boats on Sunday nights at 11. It's Nobody Wants to Work Anymore. Jesse Jet's show, American Tradition.
Oh, I love Jesse Jet.
And there's two other shows. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting them. INN 101. Thank you, Indy. Jesus, I'm really tired for some reason. I keep forgetting the shows. And there's one other show. I'm sorry. And Nobody Wants to Work Anymore, right? On Fridays, schedule's still the same for me. Oh, Indie Tech Tips Live. That's what it is.
Wait, tech tips as in, do you work on, are those computer tech tips or just any kind of tech tips?
What he does is like OBS tech tips or Restream, stuff like that.
Okay. You know what? I should probably do like some kind of commercial. Yeah, I should do a commercial. I should do some kind of channel about, computer tech tips or something like that. That would be, it would help a lot of, it would be helped a lot of people, I'm sure. It'd be like a little help desk channel almost.
Yeah. So my schedule has not changed. Angel in the Afternoons Friday, Saturday's Pro Wrestling Talk at 8. Unless the pay-per-view.
Yeah, unless there's a pay-per-view or something, or Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's more like live stream, Substack, Restream, OBS, stuff like that.
Okay. I got you, Indy. I'm just saying, I thought it was like, whoa, are you going to be helping people with computers? Is there something about you I don't know?
Yeah,
I will help people.
My schedule's not changed.
If you have a question, DM me on X, or you can get a hold of me in the comments if you want to. Ask me a tech question, if a help desk question, I'll answer it. I know computers.
So Sean says, if you do soldering work, film it. That shit gets views. Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does. Right. The only thing is my boss solders. I do not. I would probably burn myself. I'd probably fuck.
Because I've seen soldering videos that get like 6-figure views a lot of times. So people like it for some reason.
Well,
so
because they want to know how to solder too. And I do too. It's like 101. I've seen the 101 videos. I probably could if I just watched the videos over and over again. But that's more like my boss does that stuff. But I take PS5s apart. I clean them. I make sure they work. I plug them back in and make sure they work,
That could be good content too. I mean, I'm
I think
taking
so.
apart PS5
Oh,
and clean
yeah.
it. Sean says film him and take the content.
Yeah.
So steal it from let him.
No, I wouldn't do that. You have to have my boss's permission. You would have to have permission. You can't just
Yeah,
take
you
it.
would have to have permission.
Titan Skull YouTube channel, Titan Skull _official.
Do it.
Yeah, I got to put your link in the description because I put everybody else on my panel, but except you. So Alex, follow him on Twitter. You know, the
Little
links is down.
brother.
Forget.
Nope, other way.
Sorry, I forget now. It's Alex something.
Alex Knight.
My brain is too tired. Yeah, it's down there in the description. So if you haven't followed him,
You
make
can
sure
even
you
do that.
Earl says, "Will a Dell GTX 1060 work in an HB 800G?"
That's an old card.
Yes, very old.
I didn't even say anything. Yeah, that's an older card. Maybe it might. But again, you can look for like used good cards you can find probably used for like $300-400 maybe on eBay. Yeah, I mean, because like a brand new one is a couple thousand. I'm just warning you.
Oh, so Indy said tech tips won't be until after Thanksgiving, so it'll be in December.
Oh,
yeah, it's the new one.
Yeah. So one more thing, since Sunday is open now, Indy's not doing. How do we miss that on Sunday until? And by the way, Boats is at 11 now on Sundays, with Reef. So I might do. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing another show, like an interview show. I've been thinking about it for a while, having people on one-on-one and do kind of like discussion and interviews.
Okay, so Jesse will be on one-on-one. Jesse will be. It says Jesse will be this Thursday and next Thursday will be one-on-one. So Indy's gonna do. Yeah, Indy's gonna do a one-on-one with Jesse.
Yeah. So there we go. So I'm thinking about filling Sunday with something. I don't know what right now, but unless it's pro wrestling talk. But there's other weeks. Sunday's wide open. So
not this Sunday, because this Sunday hopefully you'll be on my show.
No. I mean,
you mean
pro
Sundays
wrestling
in
talk
general.
supposed to be on schedule. Yeah, Sundays in general. Yeah, there's an open spot there. So
what about aren't you guys going to talk about, well, other than baseball? Baseball's over with. But I mean, aren't you guys going to talk about GTS or something?
GTA.
Sorry, GTA. Yeah. That's what I said. That's what I meant.
You said S.
Whatever. You know what I meant.
Yeah, at some point.
Indy says no. The one-on-one is with Stefania Morizi. That's the one-on-one.
What is that noise? It sounds like a baby.
I heard that too.
I don't know.
It's not my son. I know. I've listened. I'm like, wait. So I took my headphones
off. Okay,
like,
so Ryan Christian and Stefania Morizi. I know the name. I just don't know. I can't connect it to what she does right now because I'm too tired. So, all right. So we're just gonna go now. Those are all the shameless plugs I'm putting out there just to.
So Jesse is this Thursday coming up.
Okay, GTV the 6th. Okay, GTA. Okay, GTA. Sorry, I misspoke. But if I could just say real quick, Earl, it doesn't matter if it's Dell or whatever. I mean, I've seen a bunch of pre-builts and custom builds. Trust me, gaming is gaming.
Yeah.
When it comes to builds.
Right. I remember now. She's a journalist who worked on WikiLeaks with Assange. Okay.
Okay.
WikiLeaks? Is that what it's called?
Well, Indy misspelled it, but I kind of corrected it in my head. Whatever. So,
GTA, yes, that's what I meant.
It's GTA 6. What?
The 6th. I trust you. I know. I don't know gaming. I'm sorry, Angel. One more thing. Sorry.
No.
I do know gaming's not as much as I know regular computers, but I do know gaming's. Because I used to work on gamings. I put actually a power supply in a gaming computer by myself with no one's help and no instructions. So I just, you just plug all that stuff in. But again, you have to see what works and what doesn't. Some things may, some GPUs may work with older machines, some may not. So again, it's plug and play. You got to trial and error this. And that's what I've learned from my years as a, gaming person.
It's a series of tubes.
Yes.
It's all a series of tubes.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, indeed.
Make sure you have a good cooling system as well.
Yes, indeed. We did get Julian Assange free before GTA 6.
Yeah, that too.
Right.
But GTA 6, The Rockstar employees, a lot of them are walking off the job. This is bad news for GTA 6 coming out even next year. They're walking off the job and demanding those employees
to get their shit together. It's
they're fired. They fired those 41 employees. They're demanding them back. So a lot of them are walking off the job.
They
So
should
this is
steal
bad
their
news for
bosses'
GTA
cars.
6. Coming out on time next year. They might use another delay and use that.
Yeah, they may be different, Sean. It, like I said, you have to plug and play with this stuff. Play with it if you want to learn anything. There might be a how-to also if you want to look up on YouTube, and that's where I go. That's generally like if I'm taking out a screen for like a laptop or something. Like I will, my go-to is a YouTube video of how they take it apart. They also do. There's like a fix-it. iFixit.com if you want to look them up too. They have tutorials where you take stuff apart, game consoles and Macs and stuff. So again, if you ask the great technician that I am, I would say if I can't get you the right answer, I would go on YouTube or Google it.
Yeah,
honestly, with how Rockstar's been lately, someone needs to leak GTA 6 again.
Do they do that? Can they leak that before that shit comes out?
Someone got
there was a leak.
There
was a leak a few years ago. I remember correctly, and
and he got arrested.
They claimed,
and
Rockstar claims that the 41 employees they fired were leaking stuff. I don't know how true that is, but because they're also trying to unionize, which is another reason why they walked off the job. So. Yeah, we're screwed. I mean, GTA 6 is screwed right now. It could go into the development hell. Right, who knows when it's coming out?
Like, how old are we talking here, Earl? Are you talking like 10 years old, 15 years old? Exactly how are you, like, how many years are we talking? Because old could be, I mean, for fuck's sake, when I was in computer school, what they call computer school, XP was
I don't have the Wall of Fame, or at least unless I don't have it, Indy. I mean, I would like to put it up before we sign off, but I don't have it.
Is that the Wall of Shame or the Wall of Fame? Yeah, cooler heat things. Well, it depends on what
we have, I assume, I'm pretty sure Indy's talking about, we have a Wall of Fame everybody's donated to INN. I don't have that, at least as far as I remember. Because, by the way, I did forget to tell you guys, I did get the new computer, so I don't have it on my computer. I forgot to mention that. I did get it. I'm using it now. So that's why I just wanted to.
That's
I forgot
pretty
to let
fucking
people
cool,
know
y'all. Hey, what are the
that
specs? Tell us the specs.
Well, your camera footage is still lagging. I guess I don't know if it's
that could just be an old camera. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just my webcam. It's old because the other camera, my laptop camera, never lagged. So I don't know. I may have to buy a new one because I don't know why it's lagging. It's an old one,
NVIDIA or AMD?
Intel or AMD? Yeah. What are your specs on your new computer?
I meant the
webcam is Logi.
No.
Your computer.
Yeah. What's your specs on your computer?
I could look it up. I mean,
just go to your search field and type in sysinfo.
Yeah.
System
like
info.
Hi, CBC.
Oh, here it is.
CBC.
You're late. You're almost done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Notice that. It's a 16 gigs of RAM.
That's good.
It's hold on. Can I share this? So
that's pretty average nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, like 8 is like minimal, but like 16 is kind of average for people. Yeah.
You guys see that? Because,
so it's AMD.
Barely.
AMD is good.
Yeah.
16 gigs of RAM. You have a 1 terabyte hard drive. Yeah, I mean AMD Ryzen 5s, they're really, really good, and it has a good graphics card too. So, I think you made out like a bandit, man. How are you liking it?
Yeah, it was.
Unfortunately,
it's
yours
good.
is nowhere near as powerful as mine.
Well, I have to say, I'm using an all-in-one. It's an HP all-in-one. What's yours, a Dell?
Mine?
No, yours at HP or is it a Dell? AMD is just the processor.
Are you talking about mine or?
Yeah, yours.
It's a a Seer, Acer. I'm sorry.
Oh, an Acer. Okay, yeah, I've heard. Well, they're not as bad as Lenovo's. Stay away from Lenovo's, guys. I can't tell you how many Lenovo Yogas and Idea pads I've gotten in, and their motherboards after like a year or so go, and literally you have nothing. You literally have nothing. So stay away from Lenovo's. I have an HP all-in-one. My house has everything HP. I live and breathe by HP. I'm not trying to give it, a bust or anything, but mine has 64 gigs because, again, I have 3 shows that I'm responsible for. And but mine has 64 gigs of RAM, a 4 terabyte.
Lenovo is the old IBM ThinkPads.
Yeah.
Oh God, I remember those.
yeah, they are. And I'm not saying that you should steer clear of Lenovo's. The Lenovo ThinkPads are okay, but we've had at least 10 to 20 Lenovo ThinkPads or Idea pads and Yogas come in, and literally we can't get them back up. Literally their motherboards just go, and we can't get them back up. We can see if your hard drive's viable, but I mean, pretty much if it's gone, it's gone. We don't do our motherboard. So just a little,
Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay, thank you, Indy. Oops, I'm sorry, I screwed up. Where is it? It says background. Oh, okay, it's here.
Yeah, the good old days.
Okay. Yeah, this is our wall of fame. Everyone's donated. Thank you, Indy. These are all the names people have donated. The ones in orange have supported INN very generously. We thank you for that.
Yeah, where is Fred Edward anyway? He was the one talking about he wanted wings. What is with him and wings?
Yeah, right. Where is he this week? He's not here. We can donate to INN via Cashapp. Cash.app/Indie News Network or $Indie News Network. You can donate through Ko-fi, Ko-fi.com/Indie News Network. You can donate through PayPal.
Vince McMahon's evil mustache.
Right? Where's that dude?
You can donate through PayPal, paypal.me/Indie News Network. You can donate on the Indie News Now website, which you can go to donate there. You can see it. Or you can join INN through Substack, the INNnewsletter.com and IndieMediaToday.com. Well, there's plenty of ways to support INN, so any way you can support us financially or even liking and subscribing, we greatly appreciate it. Because right now, where are we? Hold on. Let me see our subscriber count. We're at 2,604 subscribers. So
is that a typo? Or it says Alex Rivera. Is that any relation?
Yeah. No, it's Rivera, not Riviera, Steph.
Oh, Rivera. Sorry.
Yeah, that's somebody else.
Okay.
That's not me. I mean, that's somebody else.
Okay, I thought maybe that was a typo or something. I'm like, wait, what?
No. So yeah, let's get rid. Thank you very much, you guys, in advance for donating. Okay, Indy said that was one of our first Patreon subs.
Nice.
So yeah. So I want to thank everybody for watching. We're going to go now because I'm tired and I'm screwing up words. I don't even know what I'm doing. So
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Anytime,
please, you could. I think you're welcome on every week if you want, if you're able to.
Whenever I can.
But
come on tomorrow if you can.
Even if you make jokes about modern wrestling, don't worry about that, Bill. I mean, we all make funny jokes about literally about.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with modern wrestling. It sucks for the most part. So even WWE is terrible right now. So
yeah, I was saying I feel bad just making jokes. It's like I don't know much about it, and I don't want to just insult the art form without knowing anything about it.
I mean, what AEW is one walking joke. We're going to talk about blood and guts because I heard it was terrible.
Awful. No, I was saying it's much better than WWE's War Games. That's what I was saying.
I don't know about that.
Well, it follows the War Games tradition more, but it's still awful to me because, and here's the issue, real quick. Everyone, as soon as everybody gets called out to the ring, they grab a weapon. Yeah. Like the weapon's supposed to be the cage. It's not supposed to be, you grab a kendo stick or a table, you grab furniture for no reason.
Right, absolutely.
What about that female wrestler that bled that I showed you?
That whore. I'm sorry, that woman.
That whore. That bitch.
I was about to say, are audience members throwing dildos into the ring yet?
Whoa, no, not yet. That's the next thing, right?
You were gonna say,
I mean, AEW would have to do that to top themselves, right? Because
she bladed way too hard, way too deep. That's why she bled like that.
Yeah, see, that's the point. I mean, it's just one big joke after another. I don't even watch AEW, but Jim Cornette talks about it on his show, and he goes through the whole show. And I'm like, I don't even have to watch it. I can just listen to it, and it's fucking shit anyway.
She was bleeding from her head. Well, she was bleeding from wherever.
Well, God bless him for going through that, because I wouldn't be able to review the entire show because it's terrible. All right. So, yeah, we'll talk about that more tomorrow on Pro Wrestling Talk, 8 o'clock Eastern. Alex will be on at 9, I assume, for clips.
And Bill, you're welcome to come on anytime.
All right.
Yeah, just let me know or let Witchy know, and she'll let me know, whatever.
Come on tomorrow if you can.
What?
Who?
Dave. I said
Dave. Yes, Dave. If Dave is still in the comment section, Dave, you are also welcome, big brother.
I think
he's a Shawn Michaels fan, so you can make
Dave's
fun of
not
him
here, man.
I think he went to sleep. He said something about letting off.
Okay, well, I mean, if anyone talks to Dave or sees Dave, tell him he can come on. We'll make fun of him because he likes Shawn Michaels.
He said something about getting off.
Whoa!
Knicks have another injury. It's a Nobi or whatever his name is.
Ananobi? Oh, God. I mean, they're going down quickly. All right. So we're going to go now. I've been saying that for 20 minutes, but really, we had to go this time. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share the content. I got to get better at sharing clips of the show. I'm just really lazy with editing, but I got to get better with that because people like shorter clips. So.
Jewish goodbye? What?
Shorts are doing well on YouTube right now. My show, when I post shorts on the Titan Skull official, they get like 1,000 likes. Or 1,000 views, I should say.
They do well. When I used to do shorts, they got over 1,000 views and a lot of likes.
Shorts is where it's at for YouTube now.
People are very lazy when it comes to watching full streams like this. For the most part, like little clips or shorts like that. So, when you never leave, but you keep saying goodbye.
Right?
Indy, I know, I gotta go.
I have to leave.
Here we go. Okay.
So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We gotta go. See you Saturday, 8 o'clock for Wrestling Talk.